Brown Sugar Coffee Roastery is proud to be a supporter of athletics and student athletes all across Fremont County. Brown Sugar is a locally owned and operated restaurant located in downtown Riverton. Their passion is coffee and locally sourced foods. Be sure to stop in for...
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as the national anthem presented by the Riverton High School Choir under the direction of Nathan.
Applied Science degree in early childhood education.
Being a teacher has always been a dream of mine.
This degree combines the academic, assessment, and classroom management content that students need to be successful in the classroom. Gain knowledge in how young children grow and develop physically and cognitively, and guide them to social and emotional development.
What I really like about the education program here at CWC is that we get a lot of classroom experience.
Make your way at CWC.
I'm John Shade, your Edward Jones financial advisor. Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement of our young athletes from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of the Lander Tigers on KOVE. Call John Shade or stop by my office at 824 West Main Street for all your investment needs. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Elevate Rehab in Lander is a proud sponsor of sports in Fremont County. Elevate offers physical and occupational therapy and specializes in hand therapy. Elevate Rehab also offers one-on-one personalized treatment for every patient. Their dedicated team of highly skilled and specialized therapists will help you on your journey back to better health and mobility. Elevate Rehab, 535 East Main, Suite D in Lander.
Riverton High School Choir singing your national anthem. Apologize for our technical difficulties getting things started here at the conclusion of the pregame. The teams are going to be introduced as a team here in just a couple of moments. Tigers dressed in their road white uniforms, green numbers, black trim, white over white pants on the jersey. They've got the black helmet with the new LT Tiger logo on the side. Wolverines tonight wearing their home cardinal reds, the black trim, the black numbers with the white trim. It's red over white. They have the black helmets with the R paw on one side and their number on the other side. And the Riverton Wolverines coming out onto the field as a team as we're going to get this ready to get going. Second opportunity with 2:36 left in the first quarter, 7-0. On that Fremont Therapy scoreboard. Next week, by the way, will be the Riverton Pink Night, but they will be wearing black jerseys over black pants, will the Wolverines, and we're getting set for some football from Riverton High School.
You know, in film, it's like ready to take two, redo. It's kind of a whole new show. It's episode 2 of, part 2, of this rivalry matchup, and we'll see what both teams are doing, meeting up in the middle, probably I just think reaffirming things.
Yeah,
probably.
Formalities, if anything, as Nick McIntosh and Jackson Hill and Braden Vincent will go out for the Wolverines, and you've got Matisse Weaver, it looks like Jack Pasquinelli, Brennan Stauffenberg, and I'm not sure who the other one is on the right side
Rope
there.
Glick.
That's Rope Glick. Captains for the Tigers. John Scott is out there in the middle as that is, so is Troy Anderson. And we have a hodgepodge of officiating tonight as well as some of the original crew that was here Friday night from Casper is here. And then they had to hook up with the 307 officiating as well to fill some gaps on a Monday night because a lot of these referees, they work for a living outside of refereeing. And so they've got to come out here and readjust their life. Riverton did win the toss, and they did elect to receive. They went down and scored on their first drive of the game.
And so Lander will have the second half to start things off, and it will be Lander football. It will be 1st and 10 for them after that Brendan Stauffenberg 6-yard run to give them an opportunity to maybe get something going. It's going to be weird, John. We're starting the game with a little bit left to go in the first quarter again. 2:36 to go in the first is where we're going to start things off at.
I think if you had to ask a coach, if this happened, where would you rather start? Would you rather start with the ball or would you rather start on defense? I think you'd rather start on defense. Defense, always seems to be ahead of the offense when it comes to installing plays and getting a season started. And I think a game is kind of the same situation there, albeit Riverton took their opening drive and went down the field and scored. But I think I would rather play defense like Riverton is getting to do when you resume, as the scoreboard now showing, well, now it says 2:30, scoreboard is counting. Oh, they stopped it at 2:36. That's why. And the final 2:36 of the warm-up is ready to go. I think both teams are ready to go. The band's ready to go. The crowd's ready to go. I'm ready to go. Thomas.
Everybody.
He's got a thumbs up. Wyatt's ready to go. I'm John Gabrielson alongside Wyatt Bridgka. Thomas Dent III with us. We're running our technical side of the equation. Andrew Sossaman, Christian Corona, our camera peeps. And also Riley Bouillon is in the booth with us today as well. Kyle Migaloff down on the field with a camera as well as the final couple of minutes ticking off. So I guess to get you caught up to date, the Wolverines drove 11 plays, 80 yards, and scored. They got the benefit of a pass interference and a 6-yard touchdown pass to Nathan Hutchison from Derek DeVries. PAT by Hunter Saltzgaver was good, and Riverton led 7-0 with 7:22 left. The Tigers would take their first drive. They started at their own 35 after the ball was kicked out of bounds, and they went backwards 3 consecutive plays, including a holding penalty. They went backwards 18 yards, got a delay of game on top of it, and punted it away. Riverton would get their first second drive. They got a good return by Ty Sheets to the 48-yard line. They had a 15-yard penalty on first down. Couldn't overcome that. Ended up punting it away on 4th and 13. And with 3:24 left, Lander got the football, and they ran Jack Pasquinelli one way. They ran Brendan Stauffenberg the other way, and that is exactly where we start now. 1st and 10 Tigers at their own 40-yard line as they go left to right as we look at Wolverine Field.
Yeah, John Lander, again, like I say, they don't get off to the start they hope for, but maybe now they'll hopefully get something going here. But again, not a team that gets off right off the bat. They kind of gradually get into the game.
Rope Glick is the center. He's got Stauffenberg under center. Harris will go in motion, and we are resumed. Matisse Weaver, his first carry. He'll go for about 3 yards over the left side. Draven Monroe, I think the first Wolverine to get there.
Yeah, Matisse Weaver saw a lot more action against Buffalo, running and receiving the football. So maybe look to him to maybe get some of these yards going. I mean, they got three backs, Pasquinelli, Harris, and Weaver.
Gain of only 2 after the spot as Stauffenberg will go out of the gun. Play action. He'll run it up the middle himself. He'll carry it near first down yardage. Cade Gabrielson, first Wolverine there, and then Draven Monroe, and they'll say first down as it just puts the ball across the 40-yard line on an 8-yard carry by Brendan Stauffenberg.
Yeah, running with the quarterback, that was something, watching some of their preseason practice and watching some of their first practices, focus getting more running backs involved, get Brendan Stauffenberg running the football.
Well, and I think running may be the answer because the Wolverine line was teeing off on the Tiger line on the passing situation here in that first attempt in the early part of this first quarter on Friday night. Stoff now under center, gives it to Pasquinelli. He's got some room off the left side, and he will be tackled this time by Draven Monroe. 4-yard gain for Jack.
Yep, just straight up the middle type run there, Pasquinelli. He can find holes, but just right up the middle, get those yardage. It will come to you. I mean, Wolverines ran an 11-play drive to start the game. We'll see what the Tigers do.
Well, speaking of resuming, the Tigers just picked up where they left off and just running the football right at the Wolverines right now. Weaver and Pasquinelli in the back. Short line. They're going to give the ball to Harris. Harris coming to the near side is going to be hit by Sheets and Branson Saltzgaver. Maybe a gain of 1, depending on where the spot comes down.
Yeah, looks like a gain of 1 right there, and Gabe Harris kind of ran a little bit backwards, but he's lucky to maybe even get a yard on the play.
Yeah, good job by the defensive end on the left side by the Wolverines to set the edge and make Gabe Harris run around it. Different, we noticed this on Friday night, but different in that John Scott is not in the press box, so we're up top tonight. He is on the sideline once again, as he was on Friday night.
Yeah, something unusual from head coach John Scott as we got Gabe Harris in motion. He was a fake.
Second man, Matisse Weaver, brought down by Vincent. Gain of a couple. It's going to bring up third down, and going to bring up fourth down and 3 after a gain and a half, yard and a half by Matisse Weaver.
Do you want to go for it early, John, and get some momentum build, or what would you do here?
Well, they've been running the ball pretty well. You're on the downhill side of the 50 right now, and we're going to get our first stop and play, as that is the end of a very quick end of the first quarter. It only took 2:36, but the first quarter is over. 7-0 Wolverines on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. We'll come back after this break. This is Wolverine and Tiger football on County 10.
Time to welcome Sutherland's Home and Garden Fall Catalog. It's full of hundreds of deals to help you save, including special fall buys, ideas, how-tos, and more. Win big. Sign up in-store for your chance to win a $5,000 Sutherland's shopping spree. See store for details. Get up to 24 months special financing with your Sutherland's credit card. See store for details. Sutherland's Fall Catalog is full of can't-miss deals. Stop by the store and pick one up today, or check it out online at Sutherlands.com. Sutherland's, your fall home improvement store.
Wind River Internet is proud to deliver quality, high-speed internet to businesses and residents across Fremont County. Wind River Internet is the sponsor for the County 10 live stream and sports in our community. Enjoy high-definition broadcasts. Brought to you by Wind River Internet. They also provide reliable phone services that can help you stay in touch with the
Big thanks to Fremont Therapy for our scoreboard sponsorship, as well as Porter's, the pregame sponsor, and Bailey Enterprises for our postgame sponsor. And looking through the Maven binoculars, it's a long 3 yards for the Tigers on fourth down.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go for this thing, try to get some momentum early in this one. Again, this line for Lander, a little bit younger for this team, is Pasquinelli is going to line up in a single back set.
So fourth down for the Tigers. Toss to the outside. Pasquinelli hit and late surge. He will get across the line to gain. Great play. Jack Pasquinelli carrying Wolverines across the line to gain.
Just leans enough, John. Wolverines, I think we're ready for that play too, but Pasquinelli using his second chance effort and getting the first down, keeping this drive alive.
Great surge by Jack Pasquinelli to get that first down.
Here you go, back again with Pasquinelli, the single back.
Wolverines moving the defense. Pasquinelli, large hole up the middle. Jackson Hill and Branson Saltz gave her the carry, but not before Pasquinelli goes 7 more.
Yeah, giving Pasquinelli more of the rock to start this version of the game. I'm going to probably say that quite a bit this afternoon, John, or this evening, John, is, yeah, that Pasquinelli getting the rock right now, 5 carries, 18 yards.
Second down. Maybe they only give him 6 on that, as they'll back it off, and Pasquinelli will get it again, and he will run through arm tackles. He will take it to the 24-yard line before he's brought down. He ran right through a couple of arm tackles on the left side.
Riverton was looking to strip the ball, John, so I think that's why Pasquinelli got 10 on the carry.
Give him 8.
Or 8, there we go.
But it is enough for a first down for the Tigers now inside of the Wolverine 25-yard line. Stauffenberg out of the shotgun now. Stevenson and Harris to the other side. Brendan's going to pump fake. He'll set up to throw. He'll throw a dart, and it's in and out of the hands of Bieber, who gets knocked out of bounds at the 12-yard line. That'll fall incomplete. Nick McIntosh defending on the play. Stauffenberg starting the day 0 for 3, and I say the day, that's the 2 on Friday, so starting the game 0 for 3 in the passing category.
Yeah, Stauffenberg hesitated on that throw, John. He had Beaver for a moment, and then his hesitation gave a chance for the Wolverines to make a play.
And that kind of puts you in the, you'd been running the ball and you'd been second and short, second manageable. Now you find yourself in second and long. And again, Pasquinelli next to Stauffenberg out of the gun. Weaver in the slot to his right, and
you got 5 on the Tigers.
Yeah, they will pick up their 4th penalty of the game for 35 yards on a false start. So penalties are the death nail for a drive, unfortunately, and we've seen that so many times and time again. And So the incomplete looms even larger for the Tigers now that you back them up 5 more. It's now 2nd down and 15.
Here's the thing, though. John Matisse Weaver's got a leg, so
yes, he
is
does.
Well in his range.
Yeah, state's best field goal kicker. He's hit 12 of 13 PATs. He also has the state's longest field goal, or one of the state's longest field goals. Harris going to go across the formation. Out of the gun is Stauffenberg once again. Brennan's going to step up. He'll throw a screen to Pasquinelli. He'll be hit from behind and dropped by Draven Monroe. 4-yard screen pass. Great call by the Tigers. Great defensive call by the Wolverines as they were not fooled in Dre Monroe.
Yeah, Tigers like to run that screen quite often. I mean, most of the time it works for them. This one, only a 4-yard gain.
3rd and 11. Right here, you're looking at about a 42-yard field goal on the hash mark left for Matisse Weaver if it were to play at this point right here, but they do have another down at 3rd and 11.
Yeah, Tigers are already 1 for 1 on 4th down today, so if they get close enough, you'll might see a second one.
Stoff's going to throw one deep, wide open, touchdown, Matisse Weaver, and when Stauffenberg got knocked on his keister at the end of the play as well. A lot of looking around, but Stauffenberg connects. 25-yard touchdown pass from Brendan Stauffenberg to Matisse Weaver, and the Tigers a PAT away from knotting this one up.
Yeah, I mean, just getting wide open. Matisse Weaver basically beat the coverage that Riverton had. Taking a look at your replay right here. I mean, makes a call, and then, I mean, just he just waits patiently. Matisse Weaver right down the middle, beats his coverage, and there's a 25-yard touchdown pass.
He came right from that right side. PAT is good as he knocks that one across the street to J.C. Park almost. And the Tigers, with 9:56 left in the first half, have tied it up. 7-7 our score. We'll take a break. 30 seconds. Be back for the kickoff after this. The Wolverines and Tigers on County 10.
Connection today. To get a quote and start enjoying fast, reliable services, call 307-857-2004. That's 857-2004. Or windriverinternet.com.
Back when I was riding in rodeos, I always made sure I was locked in, good and tight. Now as a touring musician, crisscrossing the country, I still make sure I'm locked in, good and tight. Of course I do.
Hauling ass, heading south, down the road in a gold Cadillac, coupe to build.
Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
Back here on Jack FM 105.1, KOE 1330 AM 107.7 FM. Tigers connect on a 25-yard touchdown score from Brendan Stauffenberg to Matisse Weaver, as Matisse Weaver is set to potentially put this in the back of the end zone here on this one.
Yeah, I fully expect that he will do just that. 11 plays, 71 yards, took 3.5 days on that drive as that ball goes 9 yards deep in the end zone. You don't say that very often, a drive taking 3.5 days, but 9:56 left in the first half. The drive, by the way, took 5:38 off of the clock. So very similar in scoring drives. Riverton went 11 plays, 438, 80 yards. Lander goes 11 plays, 538, and did so in 71 yards.
Yep, now Riverton looking to respond and take the lead back again. Again, player to watch out for, John, Nathan Hutchinson, who came back, as he's going to be alone on the right side.
Top of the screen by himself on that left side.
My bad.
Vincent next to DeVries out of the gun. Play action. DeVries will take it left side. He will run right into the open arms of Hunter Velarde and carry him out to the 25-yard line on a 5-yard carry. First 10 makes 2nd and 5.
DeVries not bad with the option play, John. I mean, he's had some pretty good runs out of that option play, even though this one doesn't result in a 5-yard carry, though.
And that leg of Matisse Weaver comes into play when you don't get a return and you start a lot of drives from your own 20-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time, I mean, especially if there's win or not win against you.
McIntosh, Sheets, Gabrielson, trips to the right side. Hutchison by himself. Payne is now in the backfield as DeVries going to throw it out. Gabrielson with a catch. Pasquinelli at the 30-yard line. Cade gets across the 30. That'll be enough for a first down on a 6-yard reception. DeVries to Gabrielson, and the Wolverines move the chains.
First catch for Gabrielson in this one as he gets the first down right there. Derek DeVries, 6 of 7. That's including the first part of Friday. And he's got a touchdown out of it.
Cade has 2 catches on the year. He's also had 2 PIs called on the opposing guy on him. One of them 2.5 days ago in this ball game. But he makes the chains move on a 6-yard carry, 1st and 10. Wolverines. Shotgun snap. Vincent smashes into Rope Glick. Loose football, but he's down first. And Vincent's going to carry it for 3.5 yards.
Yeah, right up the middle. Vincent, powerful back in the backfield. He can kind of focus on that more as this season starts to wind down. John, another thing you got to wonder, too, how is this going to impact Friday for both teams?
Yeah, short rest and come back and play conference football on Friday as the Tigers take on Rollins and the Wolverines will host Douglas. I guess both teams play at home, so that's a good thing. Low snap, toss the ball to Hutchison. He's going to take it to the outside, and he's going to run into a lot of Tigers. Stauffenberg in there. There's a late flag that's going to fly in right there.
Against the Tigers.
Stauffenberg got leveled, and it's your all-conference lineman that's just been reinserted back in.
I think Lander
came in. Lied. Excuse me. It's going to go against Ryan Watson as he took exception and pushes Stauffenberg, and that's going to hurt the Wolverines because, A, they got a loss on the play of about 3, and then a 15-yard penalty, and I'm sorry to interrupt you for 4 times on that, Wyatt.
Well, I thought Lander came in first with a push, but I think that's what the officials are discussing, if it's going to be Lander first, but I think, it is going to go on Riverton.
Yeah, it'll be an unsportsmanlike penalty against the Wolverines, will be 15 yards, so insult to injury on that. And you know what? It's a rivalry game. Highs are higher, lows are lower, tensions run a little fiery. A little more fiery, if you will. So the call from the official is unsportsmanlike conduct. And it's going to back him up clear to the 17-yard line. So
big loss.
And it was a dead ball foul on top of it. So Hutchison loses about 3 yards on that. And then you add in a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, like we were talking about, John, penalties, big, significant penalties. Or stop and drives right now. This is Wolverines. Third penalty?
Yeah, and they've all been the 15-yard variety.
And 2 on offense, I know for sure. So we have a moment for a minute. I think the official...
A referee writing some things down. So I think if you get another unsportsmanlike, you'll be eliminated from contention. DeVries stepping up to pass, has some time, flushed out of the pocket, up the side. Sheets is there. Sheets to the 49-yard line where Stauffenberg will bring him down. That'll be a 32-yard completion. DeVries to Sheets, and that's how you overcome penalties right there.
Yeah, Stauffenberg trying to kind of be aggressive on the football, John, and Ty Sheets has right in the hands, and he's able to make that score.
It's a 34-yard gain. They'll put it on the other 49-yard line. 34-yard completion for DeVries at a first down. DeVries now 7 of 8, 79 yards passing in the ball game. Hutch will go in motion. DeVries will take it to the outside. He will cut, and he'll carry a would-be tackler all the way to the 43-yard line. Riding him was Velarde. It was Hunter Velarde that rides DeVries. But not before he goes. Well, they only give him 3. Looked like he had more than that, but they'll give him 3 yards on that spot. 2nd down and 7. Inside of Tiger territory at the 46-yard line. 7:30 left to play in the first half on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard here on a Monday night.
Yeah, DeVries leading the rushing right now. John, 5 carries, 30 yards.
7-7 our score. Vincent and Gabrielson will come to the near side. Sheets and McIntosh on the high side. Dominic Payne will get his first carry off a Monday, and he'll take it down to the 42-yard line. I'm going to give him 5.
I was trying to figure that out, but yeah, right up the middle right there.
3rd and 3 for the Wolverines. This drive started at their own 20-yard line. It's about almost 3 minutes old on this drive right now.
Yeah, again, Riverton taking the time off as much as they can on each drive.
Empty backfield now. Mills the center. Tigers show blitz. DeVries going to take it straight up the middle. He'll run out of the tackle of Rope Glick and carry him all the way to the 32-yard line. That is going to go as a 10-yard carry for DeVries right up the middle. That's an old Don Julian trick right there. You spread them out and run right up the gut.
You know, John, what's kind of impressed me so far is this offensive line. They're stopping Harris, they're stopping Weaver, who are coming off the side, and again, DeVries right up the middle, and you got a timeout taken by Lander.
Yeah, they'll need to talk about some things here as they just got gashed for 10 yards straight up the middle by Derek DeVries. And so we're going to keep it here, and we'll be talking a little bit more about football here in just a second. The Lander Medical Clinic and Western Family Care are another proud sponsor of Fremont County Sports. Don't forget to make that appointment for your annual wellness visit at the clinic. Thank you to the Lander Medical Clinic and Western Family Care for supporting youth athletics. And remember, let's stay healthy together. 7-7 our score on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. Wolverines, again, like I mentioned, you spread them out to run up the middle. You pull an extra linebacker or two out of that box, and that's exactly what they did there. And Brant Nyberg was an assistant coach under Don Julian, and then later a head coach himself, and carries that out. I'm not saying Don Julian came up with the concept of spread him out to run up the middle, but he had made a pretty good living of doing that here at Riverton High School. Brant Nyberg, the offensive coordinator. Troy Anderson, the defensive coordinator, coaches from on top of the press box. John Scott is about 30 yards removed from his team as he calls the offense for his team on the Tigers sideline right now.
Yeah, probably just what does this defense got to do to make a stop as here's a rush.
That's a catch by Hutchison. He'll cut back to the left side, and he will score a 32-yard touchdown strike for DeVries to Hutchison, each their second of the night.
Yeah, Hutchinson, 2 touchdowns on 2 receptions. DeVries, his second touchdown of the game, 8 for 9 for 109.
32-yard touchdown strike, and the Wolverines got their offense moving on their first drive of a Friday night. And with 6:37 left, they drive and they score.
Yep, they're able to respond on Lander's first score of the game, and now Riverton responds. We got the PAT wobble snap when it goes up.
Hunter Saltzgaber, we do have a stop in play, however, as the referees are conferring. It went through the uprights. Near side official coming to talk with Derek Watson.
Is this on Riverton then, most likely, or is this on Lander?
Well, now he's going to go to the other side, so.
Or go right up. Oh.
Dead ball defense on the Tigers.
Defense.
So they'll run one on time down. So was it not good?
No.
Because I'm not sure why you would want to kick that again, and that's what Derek Watson's going to try to get the. You would go for 2, I think, if you take the penalty in this instance, as opposed to.
They're going to go for another field goal.
They're going to go for the PAT. So I'm not sure. I didn't really look to see if the PAT was good or not.
It looked good from our view, John, but maybe it wasn't. You just take the 1 point and make this as a 1-possession game.
That field goal, a PAT attempt is on the way, and it's good. So all is well that ends well.
Either way, it's still a 7-point game.
14-7 Wolverines, 6:37 left to play first half on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. 30-second break. The kickoff is next from County 10.
If you're looking to get upgrades on your vehicle done with bumpers, grill guards, and bed liners, shop locally. Instead of traveling the extra mile to an out-of-town shop, take it to the premier local shop here in Fremont County. Wyoming 4x4 has over 25 years of experience under the belt. Dan will take your stock truck and give it the perfect accessory makeover tailored to your vision. Stop at Wyoming 4x4 or give Dan a call at 307-857-3175.
Wyoming Catholic College are proud sponsors of student athletes and sports programs across Fremont County, plus are this season's academic.
Coming out of the timeout, Riverton gets a connection from 32 yards out. Derek DeVries to Hutchison, their second touchdown connection of the season and in the game. It's 6:37 left to go in the second quarter, 14-7.
9 plays, 80 yards, a 34-yard pass to Ty Sheets that sets it up after the Wolverines had a 15-yard penalty and a 3-yard loss all on the same play. And it sets up the 32-yard pass DeVries to Hutch. Saltz gave her the PAT. And the Wolverines kicking it away now as they will pooch kick one to the near side. It will be received and dropped down at the 44-yard line by Juan Rivera, a sophomore. Alertly grabs that ball and falls to the turf. And so 44-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
You know, John, we were wondering what the crowd would look like. It's not really that bad for Monday.
Yeah, it's homecoming again.
A homecoming, yep.
We'll have a long
halftime show.
Halftime presentation. So Tigers start, 6:36 left here in the first half. They find themselves back down a touchdown, 14-7. Stauffenberg will go under center this time. He'll send Weaver in motion. Weaver will get the carry to the short side of the field. He will run into Draven Monroe, also coming in to make the tackle, Zarek Prosser. Gabrielson in the mix as well. 5-yard carry for Matisse.
Yeah, trying to figure out if he wanted to go outside or kind of go a little bit more inside. Chooses to go more inside, gets a 5-yard carry, able to set up a 2nd and 5.
Well, you wonder why they ran that to the short side of the field on top of it, unless perhaps setting something up down the line. It's going to be 2nd down and 5. 6 minutes left to play in the second quarter. Trips to the top of the screen. Stauffenberg's going to keep it himself. Short side of the field again. Draven Monroe will get him. Stoff's going to be 2 yards shy of the 1st down. That's a 3-yard carry by Brennan.
Yeah, a quarterback run all the way there, and it's going to set up a 3rd and 2. And if you're Lander, you got to convert. You're already down 7 again with 5:35 to go.
Bryce Mason in. Hutchison comes out. Looking at some of those starters. You have Tyree Harris-Aragon wearing number 55 tonight. Prosser 54. Ryan Cox wearing number 50. Mason 31. Linebackers. It's Garcia wearing 55. Stauffenberg going to be hit as he throws. It'll be caught by Harris. Gabrielson will not be able to bring him down. Harris down the sideline will score. Cade missed the tackle at the 15-yard line.
They going to say they stopped him, or are they say going to score?
No, he scores.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 47 yards out, John. And, you know, that was something kind of the first couple of games of the season that those two had a connection going. You haven't seen it much lately, and now maybe that might start back up. And as Stauffenberg is still, you know, he takes his time, and Harris was even wide open on that. Makes the cut outside.
Well, I think maybe there was some miscommunication in the Wolverine defensive secondary. But, again, Wolverines had a chance at the 15-yard line and do not come into fruition, and it's 14 apiece. 5:03 left. They take a minute off the clock. We'll take a 30, be back for the kickoff after this. 14 apiece, 5:03 left, first half here on County 10.
Catholic College are proud sponsors of student athletes and sports programs across Fremont County, plus are this season's academic spotlight sponsor. Wyoming Catholic College forms students through a rigorous immersion in the primary sources of the classic liberal arts tradition, the grandeur of the mountain wilderness, and the spiritual heritage of the Catholic Church. Grounded in real experience and thoughtful reflection, our graduates love truth, think clearly, and communicate eloquently, engaging with the world as it is.
Coming out of the timeout, 5 to go here as Landers scores on a 47-yard connection from Brennan Stauffenberg to Gabe Harris, as that's Stauffenberg's second touchdown passing today. Gabe Harris' first reception for a touchdown. 5:03 to go. Again, a homecoming game that gets delayed due to some lightning in the area. So the only high school varsity game to conclude week 3. Here we go as the kickoff goes right into the end zone Riverton starts at the 20.
And field position playing into it. Tigers last field position, 44-yard line after the Wolverines did not kick deep. They kicked a pooch kick. Now the Tigers do kick deep, and the Wolverines going to have to go 80 yards once again. They've done it twice tonight, but historically are the odds against you when you have to go and repeatedly drive the length of the field.
You know, John, last Riverton drive was saved on that 34-yard connection.
After the penalty on top of it all. So 1st and 10, Wolverines now at their own 20-yard line. 5 wideouts once again. DeVries by himself in the backfield. 4-man front defensively for the Tigers. DeVries steps up to throw over the middle. That'll be incomplete. And Ty Sheets says he got knocked down at the line of scrimmage as he's looking for a flag. It's going to go for naught, be incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Rope Glick just goes right there, makes the stop on the play, and 2nd down and 10 to go.
Do we have any replay on that, Tomas?
Looks like.
Doesn't really see it.
Nope, we don't got it.
All right. 2nd down and 10. Spread formation once again for RHS.
Could see maybe another run up the middle.
DeVries stepping up to throw. Is going to have to get out of the pocket. He'll take off running, and he will finally be hit from behind. He'll get out near the 30-yard line. Gabe Harris making the tackle from behind, as he and Weaver have done. That's very close to a 1st down. In fact, I think it's a 10-yard carry and is a Wolverine 1st down.
Just enough, John, for the 1st down, as it looked like it was going to be a loss for a moment, but somehow Derek DeVries gets out of that. As once again, they'll have another 1st down, this time at the 30.
I don't want to say too much, but I think it was a fairly generous spot for the 1st down. It looked like it was going to be about a gain of 8. Ends up being a 1st down for DeVries. He's got Vincent in the backfield with him now. Vincent will get the carry, or will he not? No, and DeVries is going to get drilled by Gabe Harris.
That's the first time that one of the edge rushers, Weaver or Harris, is able to make a play in for a loss. So 1st time today for the Tigers to create havoc on the edge.
Be interesting to see the replay to see where he comes from. And
comes from the left side if you're looking north.
Well, and there was another Tiger that had great penetration on Watson as well that was in the backfield when that play was going on. Loss of a couple, 2nd down and 12. Gabrielson and Hutch go to the top of the screen. Sheets and McIntosh spread to the bottom. Vincent going to help protect as DeVries now has to run away from Matisse Weaver. Keeps it on the run. He'll get it to the outside. Breaks the tackle. Has a 1st down and goes out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Gabe Harris credited for the tackle, but not before DeVries runs for 11. And actually, that's got to be longer than that. That's got to be...
I have him for 16, I think. Might be a little bit shorter, maybe 15. Or 14. There we go. Got to get my numbers right, John.
Put it at the 42. Well, and I told myself coming into this I was going to be better at marking down the line of scrimmage each time, but it was about a 3-yard loss on that 1st down to make it 13, and he gains 1 past the line to gain maybe 2, so 14-15, and we'll see what happens here.
You know, the scrambles are working out here for Riverton.
Sheets will get the carry. He'll cut it back up the middle. Pasquinelli will get him at the line of scrimmage. That will be no gain for Ty Sheets on his 2nd carry of the night. Now the clock factor with 3 minutes left to play in the 1st half on that Fremont Therapy scoreboard.
Yeah, if Lander wants to get another opportunity, you got to make a stop here. You only got 2 timeouts to really play with, as Riverton's got all of theirs.
2nd and 10. 1st down marker at the Tiger 48-yard line. Hutch will go up top. 3 wideouts come to the bottom side of the screen. Tigers with just 4 linemen, essentially, as DeVries will step up. He'll throw one down the left side. Hutch comes back and makes the catch at the 42-yard line.
Just makes a move, just coming back to it, a little underthrown, but DeVries puts it right where Hutchinson can make the play, and it's going to be a 1st down in Tiger territory.
16-yard, no, 7. And 13's 20-yard completion, to do math in my head, which is a sad thing for me to have to try to do.
We both do it, John. It's all right.
Hutchison, 3 catches, 58 yards. He's got 2 touchdowns. Now he's got a first down. DeVries back to pass again. Steps up, runs away from people, gets a great downfield block, gets it all the way down near the 20-yard line. Downfield block by Nathan Hutchison. 17-yard completion, 17-yard run by DeVries. He's got 10 carries now for 79 yards for Derek.
Looked like he may have paid a price on the hit there as he was kind of holding in his lower chest area. Now he's being attended to, so hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, he'll take a knee in front of his offensive coordinator, Brant Nyberg, as the Wolverines call the timeout. They'll be at the
22 of Lander.
Right at the 20, looks like.
Or 20, yeah, excuse me.
And again, as I mentioned, time of essence as DeVries still kind of pacing around the huddle there, as you see on your screen from County 10.
A great shot there by Kyle Nikoloff.
Hey, Riverton, thanks for tuning in tonight to support RHS Athletics. Broadcasts are made possible by great sponsors like Gamble's on Main Street in Lander. Shane, the owner of Gamble's, has truckloads of furniture waiting just for you. Delivery is always free within 30 miles of the store, and that includes all of Riverton. A big thanks to Shane at Gamble's on Main Street in Lander. Go back and take a look at that shot perhaps here as DeVries was out of the shotgun and pocket collapsed, and he did a great job to get away. Then you'll see that great down. Oh, the ref got tangled up and plowed there on the replay as well. Good camera work by our boys upstairs, Christian and Andrew. Out of the timeout, Wolverines have 2 left. The Tigers have 2 left, as you see on your scoreboard there that Thomas is maintaining, the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. Again, they'll have their glow run coming up this weekend. Check out more on the Fremont Therapy Facebook page. 1st and 10, Wolverines at the Tiger 20-yard line, trying to see if they can put some points before they go to half. Shot to the outside, Ty Sheets. He'll take it to the 15, to the 10. Sheets diving for the pylon. They'll mark him out at the 1.
Completion of 19 on that play that was just an easy out route by Ty Sheets. That was pretty much an easy go-to play right there. Sheets even avoiding tackles, getting around the edge. Take a look at your replay right there. Yeah, just had an angle, just was a little bit short and beats one runner.
Stauffenberg saves the touchdown, maybe only momentarily, as the Wolverines will put it at the 1-yard line with 1:54 left to play in the first half. 1st and goal at the 1. Vincent is in the backfield. Tigers, I think, going to load the box a little bit more. Vincent will get the carry, and he's not going to go anywhere.
Cabrielis.
Yeah, he ran right into Zayim Cabrielis. It's, I think, predictable. I think that would be the exact thing that I think the Tigers would expect in that situation, and that's exactly what the Wolverines did, and it's going to end up being a loss of 2 for Vincent.
Yeah, that was kind of predictable, like you were mentioning, John, is the Tigers not using timeouts right now with clock ticking with 1:25 to go, so you got to wonder if you're going to make a stop here, call a timeout, or if Riverton scores, just let your timeouts carry to the offense.
Well, DeVries taking his time. They're going to be
let this clock go to about a minute maybe.
Close to get this play off. Good end zone view of the play right there. DeVries going to throw an out route. Is caught by Gabrielson. No, it's poked out of there. Stauffenberg and Gabrielson tangle up. Brennan's a little slow getting up. Also in the area was Hunter Velarde as that pass goes incomplete, intended for Cade in the end zone.
Stops the clock, John, with 1:02. That's a 3rd down scenario. So Lander can attempt to make a stand here, and if Riverton decides to go for it, maybe another stand, but hold them to at least maybe a potential field goal.
Yeah, you're looking at 3rd and goal now at the 3 when you had it at the 1. We'll see what Coach Nyberg dials up.
Yeah, we'll look to have 2 receivers each side.
Mills Shotgun snap to DeVries, takes it to the left side, cuts it back to the inside, and a 3-yard carry is a Wolverine touchdown. They take a lead with 58 seconds left in the first half.
DeVries all the way. It was designed right there for him to get the score, and, you know, Riverton giving Lander a challenge right now. Now Lander has under a minute to make a score. They'll get the ball to start the second half, but if you get a score to end the half, you have a chance to take the lead.
The Wolverines have had 3 drives, and he is hurt as he comes to the sideline, maybe just tired. PAT from Hunter Saltzgaver is through the uprights, and with 58 seconds left, the Wolverines have a 21-14 lead. 3 times the Wolverines have went 80 yards and scored tonight on drives. We'll be back for the kickoff after this break. This is the Wolverines and the Tigers on County10.com.
Lander Community supports the Lander Valley High School Tigers, and Altitude Interiors on Main Street is no exception. Altitude Interiors is Lander's expert in flooring, window coverings, cabinets, and more. The inside of your home is like a team jersey. Every so often, you just need a redesign. The team at Altitude has the best playbook in town and can help you with your projects from start to finish and make sure you get the look and feel of your dreams. Altitude Interiors supports Tiger football, and they're here for you too at 333 Main in Lander.
Coming out of the break here on KOVE, Jack FM 105.1, streaming video on our County 10 YouTube and Facebook pages as Riverton takes the lead 21-14 with 58 seconds to go. DeVries takes it in from 3 yards out to give the Wolverines a lead here as we're about to see the kickoff. Is now Lander going to have 2 timeouts to go, 58-0 as Riverton last time, John, had a pooch kick.
Yeah, they've been kind of doing that from time to time.
We'll see here is there's the kick. This one going to be a little bit deeper. Harris will receive it from the 3-yard line.
Yikes, he's got some room on that right side as he'll cut it back to the inside, and Harris in a foot race. Draven Monroe trying to take the angle on him, can't. 96 yards on the ensuing kick. There is a flag down at the 28-yard line right in front of Lander head coach John Scott.
That means it's probably going to come back usually on those returns on like that, but what a job there by Harris. I know it's going to come back potentially, most likely, but to get room, get it from the 4-yard line and making something out of nothing. So you take a look at the replay here. Yeah, just had it pretty much all the way, and then you have Stauffenberg trying to make him finish it off, but yep, it looks like it's going to come back.
Yeah, penalty out of the frame, and they are going to take it back.
Looks like the 30, somewhere in the 30.
30 is where the penalty was. It's going to bring it back to the 40-yard line. And now, how many times do we talk about how big penalties are, Wyatt? Is that penalty not only cost you 40 yards, it cost you 7 points.
Yeah, and, you know, Lander going to have to make something happen, but you want the score, John, but with that flag, you're probably lucky it's in Wolverine territory right now. But I think that's the lucky thing.
They scored on 3 plays their last drive and took a minute 34. I mean, they've got 44 seconds now in which to do something. Riverton drive, by the way, 80 yards on 7 plays, highlighted by a 20-yard passing play to Hutchison, a 19-yard pass to Sheets that set up a 3-yard run by DeVries. Took 4:05 off the clock. They lead 21-14. Stauffenberg now out of the shotgun, throws a quick hitter to Gabe Harris, get him in space. Draven Monroe will knock him down at the 35-yard line. 5-yard catch, clock continues to run.
They're not going to call a timeout. Coach Scott just told Stauffenberg to let's get it going here. Let's let this play go.
Yeah, you're going to get the ball in the hands of your playmaker, and that is Gabe Harris, who can pretty much probably score from anywhere on the field for this team. 21 seconds left. Stauffenberg's going to roll out. He will gun one out in front. There's a late flag, flies in the backfield on this one as it falls incomplete. And I think if you're Riverton, you want to take this penalty if it's in fact a hold on the Tigers.
They do say so. So another big penalty there, John.
Time is irrelevant at this point with 16 seconds left. It's the yardage, and you'll want to take them back. That'll ended up being a 12-yard penalty on the Tigers, as the Tigers 5 penalties, 47 yards on the night.
Yeah, Gabe Harris, John May, had some room on that play. Stauffenberg just a little overthrown, so if that wasn't a penalty, Tigers are a little bit closer than they are now, wishing they were hoping, as they are back now at the 47. with 16 to go, so could see a run. Who knows what the Tigers will dial up here.
16 seconds left. Wolverines have 4 players 15 yards off the ball in kind of a prevent style defense. Pasquinelli back with Stauffenberg out of the shotgun. Play action, throws a fake. Screen is going to be set up. Stauffenberg's going to gun it up the sidelines. It'll be caught by Evan Stevenson. That stops the clock with 9 seconds left.
Yeah, that was all a screen there, but Riverton disrupts that play, and now Lander setting up with a 3rd and looks to be 7 as timeout, I think, is going to be taken by Lander.
The Lander Medical Clinic and Western Family Care are another proud sponsor of Fremont County Sports. Don't forget to make that appointment for your annual wellness visit at the clinic. Thank you to the Lander Medical Clinic and Western Family Care for supporting youth athletics. And remember, let's stay healthy together.
3rd down, 7. The crux of it, though, is there's less than 10 seconds left. The clock, you see it on the right side ticking down, is the timeout timer right now. It'll go back to game clock here in a minute, but I believe it's 9 point something left on the clock here.
Get it in range for maybe Weaver to at least give yourself that lead cut down, as Stauffenberg on that last play had to kind of change things up as Stevenson gets that 10-yard reception. As we take a look at the play, good job by the Wolverine defense to disrupt this screenplay. That was always designed in. Stauffenberg getting that 10-yard completion to Evan Stevenson. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a potential 5-and-out or try to get a little bit of something just to set up for Weaver.
Well, and I think, do you want him hash mark right or do you want him middle as well? Lander does have one more timeout left if they want to get something going there. But I think you get the ball into the hands of Weaver or Harris and let them go open field and one-on-one, because Riverton has not been able to tackle those two guys consistently here yet in the first half tonight.
So I just noticed this, Riverton has 2 timeouts on the scoreboard. Did they take a timeout when we didn't notice, or?
Riverton?
Oh, they took it earlier. My bad.
Right.
Yeah, I saw.
Well, they took one when DeVries had stopped down there as well.
I had to go back in time, John.
I'm not sure what our stop and play is all about here with the officials talking.
Well, you have Coach Scott on the field at one point, and then you have Watson on the field at another point. But both coaches go back to the sideline. Now Watson comes back out.
White hat official says, "Let's go." I can read lips through my Maven binoculars correctly. 9.8 left. First quarter, first half, Wolverines with a 7-point lead on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. Matisse Weaver's in the slot. Gabe Harris is actually not out there at the moment. They'll give it up to Pasquinelli. He'll be hit and dropped by Bryce Mason, and a quick timeout by the Tigers with 5.9 left, and it's 4th down. No gain on that play.
4th down.
That's
with a draw play, interesting, with 40-something yards of field to go.
So,
but you did have a timeout.
You have the timeout. I think that's exactly as Weaver is. I think Weaver is just looking. He just did a practice kick right there and does another one, as you see on your screen for our video audience. So,
yes, it'll be a 55-yard attempt if, in fact, he goes. And you would think maybe you would set a Wolverine back for the Auburn run back.
Yeah, and that would be
the Iron Bowl.
That would be the longest of the season for Weaver if it does intend to be a 55-yarder.
So out of the timeout, we will see what they've got going on.
Tires. Thanks to Bailey Tire and Auto for sponsoring tonight's broadcast. Bailey Tire and Auto in Riverton and Lander have a huge selection of every kind of tire you can think of. Check them out. Stick around for the Bailey Tire and Auto postgame show at the conclusion of tonight's game.
100 years of Wolverine football, 126 times these two teams have played. And Matisse Weaver is going to try this from 54 yards on the right side hash mark.
Still be the longest of the season for him if he's able to connect. This hasn't been able to connect on as much as he hopes, but here we go.
Stauffenberg going to hold, and there is a flag down, and I think this may...
It's a false start.
Yikes, that hurts the Tigers even more. 6 penalties, 52 yards. And now will you try a 59-yarder?
I think they just brought out Rope Glick and Joel Beaver out, so I think you're not going to see a field goal, it looks like. So you still got 5.9 to go, John. I mean,
do you try something and have it blow up in your face
or
and possibly go the other way, or do you play this close to the vest and say, okay, we're okay being down 7, let's go to half?
Yeah, or, I mean, there's a ton of things you can do.
You get the football to start the second half. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, I was going to say you can do another out pass and give yourself maybe get a little bit closer for Weaver, as, again, that would have been from 59, maybe 58 out, as now you got 2 receivers each side, John.
Harris comes to the bottom of the screen. Keep your eye on him, and a timeout is called by the Wolverines with 5.9 seconds. They wanted to, it's like the old basketball play, you line them up and you call the timeout to see what alignment they were going to bring out there, and now here they are calling the timeout.
Or nice the kicker, but there's no kicker out. But, I mean, you have the timeouts to work with, John, so, I mean, just might as well do it.
Your scoreboard tonight is brought to you by Fremont Therapy in Riverton and Lander. For more than 25 years, Fremont Therapy has been Fremont County's leader in physical and occupational therapy. They are proud to provide experienced clinicians to support our athletes and their families. They wish all of Fremont County teams the best of luck this season. Fremont Therapy and the Fremont Therapy scoreboard.
Less than 6 seconds remains in the first half of the 126th meeting between the Tigers and the Wolverines, separated by a touchdown. I got to tell you, as calling Wolverine games all season long, 3 80-yard drives in the first half by RHS.
That's better when you hope to see, John. And like we were talking about a little bit earlier, I talked with head coach John Scott last week. Riverton has probably played one of the toughest beginning schedules, and I think you're starting to see that pay off now. I mean, they're 1-4 on the season, but it's showing right here against Lander, like how that hard work is paying off right now.
4th and 12, that's irrelevant. There's basically 5.9 seconds left. Unless you get a quick hitter and got out of bounds, you'll see this to be the final play of the half. Harris going to line up in the slot. There's Weaver in the backfield, essentially. I don't know if he's going to be a personal protect. Nope, he's going to run out for a pass straight down the middle.
They're going to go for it.
Stauffenberg's going to launch it. That one is going to be in and out of the hands of Stevenson at the 6-yard line. Stauffenberg got knocked on his keister. He gets helped up by Braden Vincent as he threw, and he will limp off the field at the middle of the Wolverine logo. And at the half, it is the Wolverines 21. It is the Tigers 14 on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. An entertaining first half of football, to say the least.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially, basically, like you've been mentioning, basically 3.5 days, 2.5 days off, and now you're starting to see, this is going to be an entertaining second half, John. I mean, Lander didn't use the time wisely. Penalties cost him at the end of the half to potentially cut this lead maybe down to 4, but now it's going to be a 7-point game. Lander will receive the football to start the second half.
We will come back. We will also take a look at your first half scoring summary. We'll talk about the 5 touchdowns scored here in the first half of this ball game. It is also your homecoming edition. The marching band will be out there on the field, and we'll take a few timeouts in the interim, give you some stats and some analysis, and look ahead to this weekend, as well as do some homecoming royalty ideals on you. Monday Night Football from Wolverine Field at the half on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. It is the Wolverines 21. It is the Tigers 14. We'll be back after this timeout. This is Wolverines and Tigers from County10.com on the YouTube channel.
Tires and more tires. Bailey Tire and Auto Service offers a huge selection, great prices, and fantastic service.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, this is Haley. With over 13,000 tires to choose, Bailey has tires for your ATV, farm implement, car, truck, trailer, semi, lawnmower, wheelbarrow, you name it. If it has a tire, Bailey Tire and Auto Service can fix it or replace it. Bailey Tire and Auto Service is your one-stop complete tire and service shop. Just remember, with Bailey's, there's no tricks, just tires.
Baldwin Creek Rental Service in Lander is a proud supporter of sports and athletics here in Fremont County. Baldwin Creek Rental Center understands how expensive specific equipment can be, especially if it is for a one-time use or event. That is why they offer tools, equipment, and party supply rentals. For many years, Baldwin Creek has provided services to clients in Lander and the surrounding areas. From lawn and garden projects to graduation parties, they have the right equipment for you. Baldwin Creek Rental Centers, 675 Baldwin Creek Road in Lander.
Keep it local. Try it on, save time and money on returns, and get advice in person at Bells & Bows. Our business is your best local source for quality clothing like Liverpool and keeping your look fresh every month with our new collections bag. These monthly collections bags feature anything you can imagine yourself in, and the best part is we will ship it everywhere. But if you live locally, we can drop it off right at your doorstep. Bells & Bows, your local solution to keeping you looking stylish for anything that comes your way. Stop in today at 309 East Main Street in Riverton or visit us online at bellsandbows.rocks.
Later Valley Cup.
Porter's Supply Company in Riverton is a proud sponsor of Riverton Athletics this season. Wanting to remind you that the beautiful weather we've had isn't going to last forever. Porter's has everything you need to heat your home with wood, gas, or pellet stoves this winter. That's Porter's on North Federal and Riverton and online at portersmvs.com. Proud pregame sponsor here on Jack FM.
Catch the video stream of this broadcast and previous games this season on County 10's YouTube channel.
All right, I'll start figuring this out before the season is over and what buttons to press and everything like that. John Gabrielson, Wyatt Barichka with you. Thomas Dent III running our technical directing. We have Andrew Sossaman and Christian Corona running cameras, as well as Kyle Nikoloff down on the sidelines. And we are at the intermission. 21-14 Wolverines lead on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. And I go back and in recapping the first half, and we'll go by the drive-by-drive, but the penalty on what the Tigers thought would have been the equalizing touchdown on the ensuing kickoff looming huge at this point right now.
Yeah, two big penalties, John. The one with the return and then the chance to cut the lead down to 4 from 52 yards out. And that cost them in the end because they were all for 47-yard line, and they just weren't able to capitalize. But here's the penalty or the play that cost the Tigers a score. It's more back. It happened at the 28, 30-yard line.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it was back there as Harris had taken that to the house from 96 yards out, but it gets called back. So this game started on Friday. The Wolverines on Friday drove 11 plays, 80 yards on their opening possession. Scrambles and runs by DeVries. A pass interference by the Tigers loomed large to give the Wolverines a first down. A 6-yard pass from Derek DeVries to Nathan Hutchison. The PAT by Hunter Saltzgaver was good. At the 7:22 mark in the first quarter, it was 7-0 Wolverines. Lander, though, on their second possession of the night, that would be tonight. It started on Friday. It ended on Monday, the possession. They went 11 plays, 71 yards in 2.5 days in the second quarter. A steady drive capped off on a 25-yard touchdown pass to Matisse Weaver from Brennan Stauffenberg. Weaver kicks the PAT. At 9:56 left in the first half, it's 7-7. Riverton gets them at their own 20-yard line once again. This time they go 9 plays. They got a big 34-yard pass to Ty Sheets after a penalty of 15 yards and a 3-yard penalty had put them pretty much deep in a hole. They get a 34-yard pass to Ty Sheets, capped off later on a 32-yard touchdown pass to Hutchison from DeVries. Saltzgaver PAT good. 6:37 left. Wolverines lead 14-7. Tigers come back. Wolverines try a pooch kick. They give the Tigers great field position at their own 44-yard line. They went 3 plays. They capped it off with a 47-yard touchdown pass to Stauffenberg, from Stauffenberg to Gabe Harris, and that made it 14 apiece with 5:03 left. The Wolverines, though, would then drive 80 yards again. They did so in 7 plays, a 20-yard passing play to Hutchison, a 19-yard passing play to Sheets, put him inside of the 1-yard line. 3 yards later, after a couple of plays, DeVries is in. Hunter Saltzgaver, the freshman kicker, putting it through the uprights. With 58 seconds left, the Wolverines had gone 4:05 and take a 21-14 advantage. And then it's not a scoring play, but it's worth mentioning. The Tigers on the ensuing kickoff thought they had the touchdown. And so that, I guess, kind of justifies the Wolverines pooch kicking a little bit. You don't want to put it in Gabe Harris's hands, apparently, so they pooch kicked it. So you give them the short field, or you maybe give up a touchdown. That ensuing kickoff to the house got called back on a penalty. Then later in the drive, a 5-yard penalty as they were setting up a 54-yard field goal, which I do believe is in Matisse Weaver's range.
Oh, I definitely believe he tried 52 yards out, so I think that was an easy call. But when you take that 5-yard penalty, you're setting up at about a 58, 59-yard field goal. How far is his range? But right now, we don't get to know. I mean, 52 is the longest I've seen him attempt this year.
21-14 at the intermission on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. The Wolverines out in front. RHS marching band getting set to take center stage on the Wolverine turf here in just a few minutes. We'll take another 2-minute timeout. It is 7 o'clock at Jack FM in Riverton and 1330 KOVE in Lander. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. We'll be back with some stats of the first half. Wolverines up 21-14 at the half. This is the County 10 Sports Network.
Brown Sugar Coffee Roastery is proud to be a supporter of athletics and student athletes all across Fremont County. Brown Sugar is a locally owned and operated restaurant located in downtown Riverton. Their passion is coffee and locally sourced foods. Be sure to stop in for dinner service and look for a new menu coming soon. Brown Sugar Coffee Roastery. See them online at brownsugarcoffeeroastery.com or stop in at 203 East Main Street, Riverton.
Central Wyoming College has a new Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Early Childhood Education.
Being a teacher has always been a dream of mine.
This degree combines the academic, assessment, and classroom management content that students need to be successful in the classroom. Gain knowledge in how young children grow and develop physically and cognitively, and guide them to social and emotional development.
What I really like about the education program here at CWC is that we get a lot of classroom experience.
Make your way at CWC.
I'm John Shade, your Edward Jones financial advisor. Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement of our young athletes from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of the Lander Tigers on KOVE. Call John Shade or stop by my office at 824 West Main Street for all your investment needs. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Elevate Rehab in Lander is a proud sponsor of sports in Fremont County. Elevate offers physical and occupational therapy and specializes in hand therapy. Elevate Rehab also offers one-on-one personalized treatment for every patient. Their dedicated team of highly skilled and specialized therapists will help you on your journey back to better health and mobility. Elevate Rehab, 535 East Main, Suite D in Lander.
Your place for the Riverton Wolverines, 105.1 Jack FM, and on County 10's YouTube channel.
Also your home for the Tigers, as you see your RHS band performing on the Wolverine turf on a beautiful Monday night in Fremont County. Still 62 degrees, a little whisper of a breeze, maybe making it feel a little colder than that, but definitely a lot better than it was on Friday when we were suffering 50-something temperatures and electricity in the air and a monsoon on the way, for sure.
We're just glad that we're in the half, John, with nothing, locking on wood, that nothing comes around. But I'm just glad that we're able to get this game in, because one thing, John, I'm mentioning too, that this game has to be played regardless what happens, because it's a conference game. It will determine. I mean, this game could be a determinant of a seeding right now. As Wolverines now with a win can sit at the 2, but we'll find out.
Honestly, every conference game determines seeding.
Oh, yeah, but like
when it's 1-0 versus 0-1, it puts a little magnifying glass on it for sure. Let's take a look at some first half summary. The Tigers would run 24 plays. They would run 15 on the ground, 9 in the air. 24 plays, 139 yards. Wolverines would run 34 plays, 21 on the ground, 13 in the air, and they would they would amass 248 first half yards, and 240 of that came on the 3 drives that they had, 3 80-yard drives
by the Wolverines. One thing we have not seen yet in this ball game is a turnover, which looms large when you get into that. We talk about penalties, but turnovers are just as critical. Tigers 6 penalties, 52 yards. Wolverines only 3 penalties, but they almost matched the Tigers' output of 45 yards of penalties in this first half. Both teams had 4 possessions. Riverton's average field position, their own 27. Lander had 4 possessions. Their average field position, their own 28-yard line. Riverton had 2 tackles for loss. Lander had 3 tackles for loss in the ball game. Individually, looking at some first-half stats for the Wolverines, Derek DeVries, 10 of 13, 150 yards and a couple of touchdowns, both to Nathan Hutchison. He would also run for a touchdown. 11 carries, 82 yards, averaging 8 yards a carry is DeVries, and most of that kind of out of necessity, scrambling out of the backfield for the Wolverines.
Yeah, and, Derek DeVries maybe took a shot there at that one play, but he looked to be okay. He does score one after that hit, too, but, yeah, I mean, it's been Riverton. I mean, they've been the ones who are taking advantage of everything. Even on that penalty that we were back 15 yards, it's saved by a Ty Sheets reception, and, we'll see how the second half goes, John, because like I mentioned, Lander gets to a slow start. It's usually when the second quarter, second half, they kind of start getting things rolling. But when you're down by 7, this is kind of more manageable. But Riverton needs to take advantage of that 7-point lead they had.
When I wear my North Carolina sweatshirt, a lot of people think I'm a Tar Heel basketball fan, but I like Mac Brown, the head coach of the Tar Heel football team. And he points to a couple of different areas, and one of those is, how does the second half start? Are you on defense? Do you get a 3 and out? Are you on offense? Can you go down and score? So this first possession of the second half going to tell a lot about how the football game goes. For the Tigers, Brendan Stauffenberg, 5 of 9, 91 yards and a couple of touchdowns. He would throw one to Matisse Weaver of 25 yards. He threw 2 catches to Gabe Harris. One of those was a touchdown as well. On the ground, Jack Pasquinelli, 7 carries, 27 yards to lead the way. Tigers 91 yards in the air, 48 on the ground. Wolverines 150 through the air, 98 on the ground as the Wolverines coming out the aggressor and taking a 21-14 lead here into the second half of football.
Yeah, and they're taking advantage of that 7-0 lead they had entering today's game. They're up right now by that 7-0 score, and we'll see. Like you said, the second half, I think, is going to tell a lot of what it's going to look like for each team.
Wolverines up 21-14 on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. The Wolverine Band will take us to break. We'll come back, take a look at some other games around the state that are coming up in 3 or 4 days when these two teams have to get back after it on Friday. This is Monday Night Football, the Wolverines and Tigers from the County 10 Sports Network.
Therapy Group has been a proud supporter of Wyoming athletics for more than 25 years. Locally owned by therapists, Fremont values commitment to professionalism and community. With specialized training and one-on-one service, they get you back to doing what you love. Whether you need rehab for an injury from a sports-certified specialist or therapy from the only certified hand therapist in Fremont County. With 6 locations in western Wyoming, they provide aquatic therapy, dry needling, and women's health therapy. To find out more about Fremont Therapy Group or schedule an appointment, go to fremonttherapy.com.
Gales Carpet Floor and Home is happy to support student athletes in sports across Fremont County. Gales Carpet One Floor and Home has been a Fremont County fixture for decades, specializing in flooring, window coverings, and cabinets, as well as the professional certified installation of those products. Stop into Gales Floor and Home today at 220 East Main Street, Riverton, or see them online at galescarpet1riverton.com.
High Country Hearing Center supports patient hearing health care with a superior standard of practice for our Wyoming families, and we are proud to sponsor sports and student athletes all across Fremont County. High Country Hearing Centers has been serving Wyoming's hearing health care needs since 1979. High Country Hearing Centers will always provide superior hearing instrument technology and standard of care practices to help you stay connected with family and help you maintain a more active and healthier Wyoming lifestyle. Make an appointment today in Lander at 1460 West Main or in Rock Springs at 514 Broadway.
Lander Medical Clinic and Western Family Care support Fremont County athletics. We are a locally owned, multi-specialty healthcare group that is proud to serve the Lander and Riverton communities. Our goal is to provide convenient quality care for all ages. We offer a wide array of services including family and internal medicine, pediatrics, women's care, and urgent care. Additionally, we have on-site labs, echocardiograms, stress tests, x-ray, and ultrasound in both communities. Lander Medical Clinic and Western Family Care are here for you in Fremont County. Let's stay healthy together.
Your place for the Riverton Wolverines, 105.1 Jack FM and on County 10's YouTube channel.
We also have Tiger liners that we'll throw in here
I would
as
hope
well.
so, John.
Most of the
No,
ones
it's
I
gonna
have
be hard
programmed
time.
into this box are the Wolverine variety, but we are at a half, 21-14. These two teams will be back in action on Friday, again at 6 o'clock. Lander will host Rollins, while the Wolverines will host the Douglas Bearcats.
That's a tough one for Riverton. I mean, to have this game that's probably going to be competitive, and then you got Douglas, who's right now currently leading the East.
We have those standings, Thomas, those 3A East standings. We'll pull those up, and we'll talk about this as well. Buffalo is at Worland. That is a 6 o'clock kickoff. And then you have Jackson is at Green River at 6 o'clock. And then Powell is at Evanston at 7. And the big game is the Cody at Star Valley game, number 1 at number 2. And having seen both teams, if the weather's good, that one could be a track meet. Be very interesting to see how the Star Valley Braves passing attack will hold up against the Cody Bronx defense, and what the Cody Bronx can do running the football against that Star Valley defense as well. So that'll be your 3A contests. Again, Douglas at Riverton. It is the pink game for the Wolverines. And it, excuse me, is also senior night for RHS. Wolverine golf team being recognized at midfield for their championship just this past week, just a couple of weekends ago. Other Fremont County games in action. Natrona JV will be at DuBois. Wind River is at Grable, and on Thursday, Shoshone is at Big Piney, and that is a pretty big, important ball game for both of those two teams. Shoshone still has to play Wind River. Wind River still has to play Rocky. Big Piney just has to play Shoshone. The Tigers just now making their way back to the playing surface here at RHS. We're about 90 seconds away from the start of the second half. Those are your 3A standings right there. You see the Bearcats leading. Riverton could be right there with them depending on how this game turns out. Worland at 1-1, Buffalo at 1-1, Lander Valley at 0-1, and Rollins at 0-2, and then Cody Star Valley atop the other division. Jackson Powell next, Evanston Green River at the bottom. Let's do a 30-second timeout. I don't know if they'll put more time on the clock because it was a longer halftime, but a 30-second timeout, second half on the way. Tiger football when we come back here on County 10 Sports Network.
We are Maven. We focus on the fundamentals, clean, simple designs with the very best modern materials and technologies. We refuse to compromise our mountain town roots to follow the well-worn path to $1. We choose instead to make game-changing gear and use it in the places and pursuits that inspire us every day. We are Maven, a company focused on the design and creation of innovative products for and by the modern outdoorsman.
Tiger football, all season long, streaming on County 10's YouTube channel.
Second half will begin with the Tigers getting the football. And waiting to see if they actually, in fact, do put more time up. Usually you'll give you a 15-minute half with a 3-minute warm-up, but they are going to give them an additional 3 minutes. So, Wyatt, if there's anything you'd like to talk about.
Yeah, no, I think the Tigers, like I said, it's usually when they start coming out, you got to wonder what the halftime speech was as you're down 7 in a 21-14 ball game. I mean, there's so much. It's Riverton's homecoming. It's a Fremont County rivalry. It's on Monday night. You had to wait really 2 days to play again in a nightcapper. And the thing is, like John, we were mentioning that your upcoming schedule. how is that going to affect the players in basically 3 days of rest? I mean, you got to go right back at it again. Riverton, you would say, it would have the more challenging game on Friday when they take on Douglas. So how healthy are the players going to be entering Friday?
Well, and I think more importantly is the next 24 minutes of football that they're concerned about, because the next 24 minutes is going to decide whether you're 1-1, 2-0, or 0-2 as you go into those games. And I look and I contend the pedigree of the coaching staff of the Lander Tigers. John Scott, success wherever the guy goes. Mike Reagan on that staff coached a 4A football state championship. John Rounds played in a football state championship for the Laramie Plainsmen back then under legendary coach John D-Ty. Brady Fullerton, last time that Riverton went into the semifinals, he was on the field for the Wolverines on that Lander sideline right there. So it will be interesting to see the adjustments that both teams make and little tweaks, little nuances as they come in, namely how Riverton will kick off this second half, because the one time they kicked off, Gabe Harris took it to the house, got it called back on a penalty. The other time, they gave him a short field, essentially, of 56 yards.
Yeah, you got to wonder, too, John, if this game is in Riverton's favor and it's a one-score game, you might be going back to that play and saying that could have been the difference maker in this one. And maybe depending on the second half, if things are close and there's another big play. But right now, if you're looking at the first half, that's the one you're going to wonder about.
Your scoreboard tonight is brought to you by Fremont Therapy in Riverton and Lander. For more than 25 years, Fremont Therapy has been Fremont County's leader in physical and occupational therapy. They're proud to provide experienced clinicians to support our athletes and their families. They wish all the Fremont County teams the best of luck this season. Fremont Therapy and the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. And as I mentioned, they'll have a color run coming up this weekend. You can check out Fremont Therapy on Facebook for more. Randy Tucker, columnist on County 10, down on the sidelines with his camera. You'll see those pictures on County 10 coming up in the near future as well.
Probably tomorrow.
Andrew Sossaman and Christian Corona are outdoor cameramen. Kyle Nikoloff down on the turf of Wolverine Field. Hunter Saltzgaver, the freshman, getting ready to put this away as Riverton will go left to right as we look at Wolverine Field.
Riverton will be kicking off to start the second half.
Through these Maven binoculars, John, it'll probably be Gabe Harris. He's going to stand back a little bit, but would you be surprised if a pooch kick came again?
I would not. And like I said, pick your poison for the Tigers.
Got Reggie on the field. Probably got to wonder what that was about.
Well, let's hope he didn't see any of the L word.
Yeah, let's not say that. Maybe it's just checking, making sure everything's good, but yeah, that's unusual.
It is, and he keeps looking off into the, I don't see any storm clouds there unless it's behind us. And looking at the weather, it didn't show. They are going to delay something as they're going to pull both teams off of the field. John Scott's out there sweeping stuff off of the court. I don't know if it's...
And maybe that's what...
Off of the field, something that got left over from perhaps the band performance or something out there, but we're going to delay this one a little bit here in the start of the second half as well.
Well, John, it looks like we might reach 9 o'clock at this pace. If this game continued last week, it would have been quite a while and might have gone back starting at about 9 o'clock. But, both teams going back to their sidelines, but luckily the L word is not around.
Yeah, it's some foreign substance on the field on the other sideline between the hash and the sideline.
As the officials are saying it's good to go, and we are back at it. It's going to be Saltzgaver to kick it off here. 12 minutes on the clock, and again, second half, this first drive, as you've been mentioning, John, will be something telling.
I think we have that starting lineup graphic we may be able to throw on screen as we get ready for this second half as well. And so whatever it was on the sideline, they've just kind of kicked it around as they're going to kick one short, and I think that's the remedy, is just give them the ball at the 35-yard line, and that is where the Tigers will start 1st and 10 at their own
25-yard line, unless you're John Scott and want him to re-kick it again.
Yeah, taking a look at your Palace Pharmacy starting lineup. This is what the order is looking like. Is we got a little bit of some graphic issues there, but we'll be all right with it. I can give it to you right here. Stauffenberg at the quarterback, Pasquinelli in the backfield. You got Matisse Weaver, Gabe Harris as wing players, receivers. Stevenson and Beaver, your receivers. And then your line, Phillips, Hamilton, Glick, Cabrielis, and Romer, who's a freshman, getting some varsity time early in his high school career.
Wolverines will see Xavier Garcia at the nose, Bryce Mason on the outside, and Ryan Cox. Draven Monroe, also Tyree Harris Aragon, and Jackson Hill as linebackers. Stauffenberg gives it off to Pasquinelli. He'll be hit by diving Draven Monroe right at the line of scrimmage, and no gain.
Yeah, already the start that Riverton likes. Get no yardage on the gain as they mark it right back at the 35-yard line. As you know, John, I wouldn't be surprised if Lander goes back into their passing attack here, as even though Brendan Stauffenberg is 5-9 today, or in this ball game, counting last Friday, Lander is a balanced offense. They can do both.
Right. Stauff back to pass, throws to the outside, and on a knee to make the catch is Evan Stevenson.
Gain of looks to be 8 on that catch, John, and yeah, right as I call it right there, talk about the balanced offense, get the passing game going, and now you're in third and manageable. And it looks to actually be a pass of 9. They're going to mark it 1 yard short of the first.
Yeah, and they had given Pasquinelli minimal gain on first down, and that right there, it looked like he had a lot of room to run had he not had to go down to a knee to catch the football.
Yeah, there was one defender right there kind of in that area, and now we're going to see.
Yeah, Stauff will just take this straight up the middle, but he doesn't need to, as all 3 Wolverine linemen jump off sides.
I believe that's only the 4th penalty. I have Riverton 4, and that's only 50 yards. Lander, 8 penalties, 61 yards, counting that 1 yard penalty on the defense and that field goal PAT in the first half.
Well, and so the penalty that the Wolverines kick on the kickoff, how much yardage is that? A 15-yard penalty because they give it to him at the 35? I mean, I don't know sure how to address that, but that will give the Tigers a first down as all 3 down linemen for the Wolverines jumped. Corners are Nick McIntosh and Ty Sheets, Gabrielson and Hutchison, the safeties for the Wolverines, getting the starting nod here in the second half.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, John. I didn't mean to interrupt you. 1st and 10. And again, look for the passing game to start coming up.
Weaver on a wing, give the ball to Pasquinelli. He will run it up the middle. Dropped by Hutchison after a 9-yard gain. Pasquinelli got the wheels rolling and steamrolls to near a first down.
John, he's the leading rusher. He's got 9 carries, only 34 yards. They only have 55 yards rushing in this contest. They only have 150 total yards of offense, or 156. Might be off a couple numbers, John.
I think we'd be off. You could have 10 people statting a game, and you'd have 10 different numbers up here.
We'll take the average.
Pasquinelli again has the first down. He will get brought down by Zarek Prosser, but he will rumble ahead for a gain of 4 and a first down.
3-yard gain.
Yeah, gain of 4, just easy. Get the first down, give yourself another set of downs, opportunity to extend your drive, as right now Lander, starting from their own 35, is in Wolverine territory.
Yeah, the Wolverines got pretty much 7 in the box trying to stop the run, and then 4 deep trying to stop the pass right now, as Landers kind of got them guessing. The Wolverines nearly jump, then do jump off sides. They're pointing at the left side, but I think it's going to be against the Wolverines.
Yeah, that's close. John Bryce Mason getting in there, and then you had Phillips, who kind of made the jump after, so they are going to say it's on Bryce Mason.
They all 3 initially jumped again for a quick second, but then the second cadence got him to jump.
Yeah, I'll set up 1st and 5, so, you know, Tigers not far, about 33 yards from the end zone, and on their first drive of the second half.
Trying to knot things up here. Stauffenberg will keep it He will be hit by Draven Monroe and driven backwards by Jackson Hill. Stauffenberg will go for 3.
Brought down by Monroe.
And it's going to be second down and a couple now after the first down.
Would have been 2nd and 7 if the penalty doesn't occur. So kind of advantage here to get a new set of downs on this potential next play.
Brennan will check in under center this time. Throws it out to Pasquinelli. He'll be hit by Prosser. He'll spin him down to the ground, but he'll have enough for a first down to the 27-yard line, a 4-yard carry, and another Tiger first down.
Yeah, Jack Pasquinelli getting the wheels going. The Tigers hurrying things up here. They're looking at the sideline for the play, and maybe you could potentially see some fast-paced offenses. Scott's calling in the play. Taking a little bit of time, though.
They're not huddling, though, so they're saving some time.
They are.
With that, Stoff hands it off to Pasquinelli. Jack will be brought down by Prosser. But Branson Saltzgaver got a pretty good lick from one of the Tigers out there. Pasquinelli is going to carry for another 6 yards, 2nd down and 4.
2nd and 4.
Pasquinelli, 12 carries, 50 yards by my unofficial stat count.
I'm only 2 yards off, so.
7:54 left to play in the third quarter on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. Tigers taking their opening drive from the 35-yard line.
Play action here. So that's Gabe Harris once again on the reception. Gets to maybe the 10. We'll spot him at the 10.
Nathan Hutchison will knock him out there, but a 12-yard completion, Stauffenberg to Harris. Third catch of the night for Harris for 64 yards now.
Yeah, just looking at the sideline, Lander's doing, so they are kind of pushing the pace here as Riverton has been taking that clock down.
First
their advantage.
First and goal from the 10. Pasquinelli hit from behind, stood up and dropped. Dominic Payne in there. Bryce Mason got him first from behind. Dominic Payne lays him out.
Maybe got right back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to say, yeah, right back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, 2nd and goal.
No gain. Brings up 2nd down.
7:06 to go as the Tigers, kind of the first play, John, that really been stopped, haven't getting a significant amount of yardage.
Stoff out of the gun. Throws Matisse Weaver, touchdown. He got between the Wolverines safety and corner, and 10-yard completion to Weaver, his 2nd touchdown catch of the night, 3rd touchdown pass of the night by Brennan Stauffenberg. The Tigers are a PAT away from evening this one up.
Two fake plays. Fake the toss to Harris, fake the handoff. Weaver sitting wide open in the end zone, touchdown.
Yep. Froze the defense. Nicely done, Stauffenberg. The hold, the kick by Weaver, and we are tied at 21 apiece.
That's the start maybe Lander was hoping for. Get into the end zone, tie things up. But Riverton, like you've mentioned, John, 3 80-yard drives, and now how is Riverton going to respond?
We'll take a break and find out. 21 apiece, 6:51 left, third quarter on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. Kickoff on the way. This is Wolverines and Tigers from the County 10 Sports Network.
Northside Auto Body Shop in Lander is proud to support sports and student athletes for the 22-23 season. Northside Auto Body is a staple in the Lander community and is primarily engaged in automotive body, paint, and interior repair and maintenance. If you hit a deer or have a vehicle accident, Northside will get your repairs handled and accept all forms of insurance. Javi and the crew got you covered at Northside Auto Body Shop, 323 North 2nd Street, Lander.
Back here, Jack FM 105.1, KOVE 1330 AM 107.7 FM. Also streaming video on our County 10 YouTube and Facebook page. However, you may be tuning in. Can't thank you enough. Lander scores on an 11-yard touchdown connection from Brennan Stauffenberg to Matisse Weaver. As the Tigers will kick this off, Wolverines will have their first possession of the second half. We will get underway here. 21 apiece on your Fremont Therapy scoreboard in the third quarter in a Fremont County rivalry game on Monday night. This one's going to go right to the end of the end zone.
Almost through the uprights.
Bounces and hits the upright, John. That's pretty something you don't usually see.
Fourth consecutive start for the Wolverines at their own 20-yard line.
Maybe that's the magic number.
So far it has been, because they have been able to score on 3 of those occasions.
Yeah, so how are the Wolverines going to come out to start this one, as Wolverines score with, 58 seconds left to go in the first half, and here we go.
DeVries back to pass, throws. It'll be caught by McIntosh. He'll be spun out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Gabe Harris making the tackle. They'll call it 6, 2nd and 4. First catch of the game for Nick McIntosh. Actually, his 3rd catch of the game, his first catch of the night for Nick.
Yeah, we're going from Friday to Monday, John.
2nd down and 4. DeVries once again out of the shotgun with 4 wideouts. Give the ball to Vincent. He'll be hit and dropped in the backfield. Gabe Harris and Matisse Weaver meet at Vincent in the backfield, and he will lose a yard.
Yeah, as Riverton has been able to kind of hold their own against Weaver and Harris on the edge. I mean, not many times have they been able to create plays that results in loss of yardage.
Well, and Vincent's going to hobble off the field after that play. And I think if you're Riverton, that you run that play to keep them honest sometimes as well. You sacrifice that run up the middle in order to set up some other things as well. 3rd down and 5, first down marker at the 34. DeVries, he will step up, he will throw. That ball is going to be tipped and incomplete. Stauffenberg knocking it away from Hutchison at the 35-yard line, and possibly a 3 and out. The Tiger defense comes up big. First 3 and out of the night for the Wolverines.
Yeah, almost had the interception there, John. I mean, it basically hit his chest right there for the opportunity. Taking a look at your replay here on a 3rd and 5, as if I'm not mistaken, this will be the second time of the game that the Wolverines will punt. Just almost had a chance.
They did have a 3 and out on that other drive. It was a 15-yard penalty that made it essentially a 4-yard play. 3 punts of 60 yards or longer, and that is stop and play before this one gets going.
5 yards against Riverton on the false start.
Penalties now biting the Wolverines now. You have 7 for 65?
I have 6, so I'm missing a penalty somewhere.
The 2 defensive jumps, perhaps?
I forgot to add that. Yep, so 7 for 65 I have in the game for Riverton. .5:30 to go in the third, 21 apiece. Lander going to have the ball with a chance to take the lead for the first time in the game.
DeVries snapping, that's Parker to Derek DeVries. He will kick it down the left side. It's going to run out of bounds at the 50-yard line.
About the 48 where it bounced out. They're going to mark it at the 46.
DeVries punt.
So kind of maybe a little bit nicer for the Wolverines as it will start the Tigers in their own territory.
30-yard punt, no return. It's going to be 34-yard punt, no return. Tiger ball at their own 46-yard line, 1st and 10. 21 apiece on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard, 5:24 left to play. Third quarter.
Tyler Watson, State Farm agent, a proud supporter of Riverton High School athletics. State Farm doesn't want you to forget the old memories, but they want to make sure your future is protected. Stop in and see Tyler, 618 East Washington, or go online, insuringriverton.com.
Pasquinelli runs it up to the inside. He'll be stopped there by Dominic Payne, but he's going to go 4 yards. 2nd down and 6.
Looks actually be, they used to say 4. It looked like they were going to spot at the 49, but right at midfield, Pasquinelli getting the rock a lot more in this second half right now. 14 carries, 51 yards, but yeah, the second half alone, he's pretty much taken all the rushing totals.
Yeah, 13 carries, 54 yards on his night. 2 pass protectors for Stauffenberg in Weaver and Pasquinelli. Stauffenberg hands it off to Pasquinelli. He'll be hit and brought down. Prosser got him first. And then Payne comes in. Ryan Cox comes in. No gain for Pasquinelli that time. 3rd down and about 5.
Yeah, hopefully we got the replay right here. I was going to talk about, I believe Pasquinelli tries to make a stiff arm attempt here to kind of get right back to that original line of scrimmage.
He did, but Prosser got a handful of jersey while he was being stiff-armed, and that ended up being enough to bring him down.
3rd and 5 here.
Harris and Beaver come to the near sideline out of the split. 2 pass protectors for Stauffenberg. He's going to send Weaver out of the backfield. He'll get the ball to Matisse. He's going to be hit and dropped there. They're going to lose about 5 on the play. Dominic Payne, who has come huge for the Wolverines defensively here in this 3rd quarter.
Probably not what you were hoping for the Tigers, as now Riverton has a chance to regain their lead.
That one goes backwards on the Tigers, and it'll be 4th and 10, so the 2 teams trade 3 and outs.
And we'll see what Weaver does on this punt here, as he only punted once, and I believe that was on Friday. Might have been twice. I think it's still once, though. This will be
just
his
once. They
punt.
scored on their 2nd drive, and every time subsequent to that. Ty Sheets back to receive for the Wolverines. Weaver gets hit, but they almost block it. That ball is going to bounce and
nice
roll, and the Tigers will go down there and down it at the 2-yard line as they flip the field, downing it Brody Moffitt, backup quarterback playing some special teams. It's a 51-yard punt and no return, and the Wolverines with 2:57 are back against their own end zone here in the 3rd quarter on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard.
That is a best case scenario for Lander starting on defense, worst case scenario for the Wolverines, as like we've been saying, it's basically been the 20-yard line for the Wolverines, and now you're starting at your own 2.
Yeah, even further back now. This is a 52-yard punt as they mark it at the 2. 2:57 remaining in the 3rd quarter on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. And now you're kind of in danger zone looking through the Maven binocs at that left side end zone. And a stop in play.
Came from looks to be the near side, and they're going to take a timeout. Riverton is.
Yeah, Wolverines will take a timeout with 2:57 left to play in the 3rd quarter. 21 apiece. Wolverines football at their own 2 after we come back from this timeout on the County 10 Sports Network.
Palace Pharmacy of Lander is proud to be this year's starting lineup sponsor and supports athletics all across Fremont County. Palace Pharmacy in Lander is locally owned and locally loved. Palace Pharmacy combines high-quality products with personalized care. They strive to help you reach your health and wellness goals. Stop into Palace Pharmacy, 1255 Main Street, Lander, or see them online at palacepharmacywy.com.
Thank you to Porter's Supply Company in Riverton for sponsoring our broadcast. Porter's reminds you that winter is right around the corner and it's time to prep your wood, gas, or pellet stove for the season. They've got everything you need from new installs to supplies and accessories. Porter's on North Federal in Riverton and online at portersmvs.com. 2:57 remains in the 3rd stanza of the Fremont County rivalry on a Monday night. DeVries standing 4 yards deep in his own end zone, throws to the outside. That's going to be caught by Hutchison, but he'll be dropped right there by Velarde, and that'll be no gain. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, just trying to get out of the end zone. They did have a 5 receiver set there, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 4. But yeah, just Lander making a play there and keeping them in check, as I think that was only a gain of 1.
Yeah, they do give him 1 generously, I think, from where I thought he came down at the line of scrimmage. They'll move it out to the 3-yard line now. Trips come to the near side. Monroe, Sheets, and McIntosh.
Gabrielson and Hutchison all by themselves on the other side. DeVries all by himself in the backfield. Throw to McIntosh at the 10. He'll make the first man move, makes the second man move, and he'll get out across the 11-yard line where it'll be real close to a first down. Pasquinelli hung on for the tackle.
That's going to be I think they're going to.
I think it's an 8-yard gain and a 3rd and 1.
Bring up 3rd and 1.
Yeah, Riverton just trying to get out of the zone.
4 catches for McIntosh, 35 yards on the game. 2 on Monday, 2 on Friday. And will the Wolverines spread them out to run up the middle once again as they've got 5 wideouts? Sheets going to cross the formation, line up in the slot.
They do.
Yeah, DeVries is going to carry it himself. He'll get it across to the 15 where he gets tackled by Matisse Weaver.
Gain of 3.
But that 4-yard carry is enough for a Wolverine first down.
Yeah, you didn't need really that big of a play. You just needed to get the first down, John, as Wolverines, like I'm saying, they're using this clock, and I think maybe starting at that 2 is going to help them later on if they do eventually score.
We were at 21-14 at half. The Tigers scored on their first possession of the second half. Each team then went 3 and out and punted. The Wolverines now have garnered a first down here on their second drive of the half. DeVries trying to get away from Gabe Harris. Does. Gabe from behind never gives up on the play. DeVries out to the 21, a 6-yard carry.
Yeah, just DeVries having to scramble quite a bit this evening. And, you know, when he's scrambling, he's getting yardage. I think that's the main thing is he does make Harris miss, and I think that could have been a loss of yardage.
But the thing about Gabe Harris and Matisse Weaver we've seen over the last 2.5 days of football is they do not give up on a play. They've made how many plays from behind they make the tackle because they do not give up on the play. This will be your final play of the third quarter, and we'll head to the fourth here momentarily. Nathan Mills, the center. Low snap. DeVries going to pick it up. He'll get out of the tackle of one player. Turns something into nothing. Stays on his feet. DeVries will take it all the way out to the 34-yard line. That's a 9-yard carry on a broken play that's pretty much going to end the third quarter and a Wolverine first down.
Yep, that John. That reminds me of a play of Tony Romo and the Cowboys on a botched snap, and that will end the third quarter as we're going to enter the final 12 minutes tied up as DeVries saves that drive.
3-4 missed tackles,
5-6
6 missed tackles, and then finally the 7th and 8th bring him down. Send you to the final the final fourth quarter, 12 minutes of football, 21 apiece. The Wolverines and the Tigers. Wolverines with the football and momentum when we come back on the County 10 Sports Network.
Perfect Power is a proud supporter of athletics and student athletes all across Fremont County. Perfect Power provides services for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. Darren Hubble, owner and master electrician, has over 30 years of electrical experience. Darren's trustworthy team of professionals can get the job done right. Perfect Power, serving Fremont County and surrounding areas. Stop into 1320 West Main Street, Lander, or give them a call at 307-332-7184. Your home for the Riverton Wolverines is 105.1 Jack FM and County 10's YouTube channel. Go Big Red.
Thank you for watching on the County 10 YouTube channel and listening on 105.1 Jack FM and 1330 KOVE. John Gabrielson and Wyatt Barichka. Wyatt, the voice of the Tigers. Team broadcasting tonight. Thomas Dent is our technical director. Andrew Sossaman and Christian Corona high atop Wolverine Field, and down there on the turf of Wolverine Field is Kyle Nikoloff providing us our camera angles here tonight. 21 apiece on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. The Wolverines started this drive at their own 2-yard line. And after that scramble by DeVries breaking 7 tackles, he's got it out at the 34-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, John, I'm excited to have done this joint broadcast as DeVries is, here we go, once again scrambling.
Roll it out to the right side, stiff arms Weaver and takes it to the 39, a gain of 4 as Matisse hangs on and brings him down. It's actually going to be a 5-yard gain because they were at the 34-yard line.
Only 7 plays for the Wolverines in that third quarter, John, as Lander really kind of controlled that third quarter as far as possession goes, but Wolverines on this drive in particular are starting from the 2.
Wolverines with 33 yards of offense in that third quarter. The Tigers had 55 yards of offense. Riverton still leads the total at 286 to 194, but the big stat that matters is those 21s on either side of that Fremont Therapy scoreboard at the moment. Got a 5-yard run by DeVries, 2nd down and 5. Steps up to throw. He's got Hutchison. He throws it too far out in front of Nate, and it falls incomplete. Velarde giving chase defensively, but now it's 3rd and 5.
You know, John, that's only the 3rd incompletion for Derek DeVries. 12 of 15 for 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's I might have been wrong. Oh, I might have missed a couple passes there, John.
He still has only missed 5 by my book at 13 of 18 for 165 yards.
So I was definitely wrong, I can tell you that.
Pass incomplete. Ball stays at the 39-yard line. Minute gone by in the fourth quarter. 21 apiece in 3A East Conference football. Monday Night Lights. First game I ever did at this field was on a Monday afternoon. There weren't even any bleachers as DeVries, taking it on the run, dives out near the first down. He'll get 5, but he's still going to be a yard short.
Yeah, and, you know, John, with a 3rd down and 1, or are they saying 4th and 1?
4th and 1.
Or, excuse me, yeah, 4th and 1. This could be, if Riverton decides to go for it, which I wouldn't be surprised if they do on a 4th and 1.
Yeah, first down was DeVries to the 39. Second down was incomplete. Third down, the 4-yard carry. So here we go. 4th down and a yard for the Wolverines. Will you see them bark and get the Tigers to jump off sides?
They do.
And they do.
Costly penalty for the Tigers. They keep the drive alive for Riverton.
And the theme of the night, all night, has been costly penalties, and it's accrued on both sides of the football here tonight. That one's huge, though. It goes from 4th and 1 to 1st and 10. Just past the 48-yard line. It'll be marked to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, 9 penalties, John, I have for 66 yards. I might be.
Me too.
We'll get our stats. We'll take the average of what we have. Well, yeah, that's a big penalty. I think if Riverton eventually does score, I mean.
Well, even now, it's possibility of flipping the field to make the Tigers go a long way if, in fact, this drive stalls. But it's 1st and 10 now. Gabrielson, Hutchison on the yard markers on the near side. Sheets and McIntosh at the top. Rolling out DeVries. He's going to throw it. That is incomplete. Intended for McIntosh at the 47 and almost picked off as Moffitt came in there right before that. I think he shielded McIntosh's eyes from being able to pull that ball in, and harmlessly for Riverton falls to the turf incomplete.
Yeah, just opportunity for Moffitt. Wasn't able to get it. Here we go. We got a replay here. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Riverton. Just once again right there. Yeah, I mean, not a chance to get it, John, but enough to disrupt the play was Brody Moffitt.
2nd down and 10. DeVries steps away from one man, crosses midfield to the 48. Pasquinelli and Harris will hang on to the 44-yard line.
This is going to come back on a holding as Weaver literally just got thrown to the ground on that play. As he did come up slowly, he's able to get back up, but this will go against Riverton.
Well, and DeVries, a warrior out there hobbling after that play, and he's been banged up a few times tonight.
Yeah, that just shows his toughness right there. There you go. There's the holding.
It's going to end up being essentially a 15-yard penalty on the Wolverines, their 4th of that variety tonight.
And will this penalty, like we had some on Friday, will this stall the drive?
Right. The Wolverines have overcome them pretty much mostly tonight. 2 Tiger penalties have hurt them that they've not been able to overcome. One at the end of the half, one in the beginning of the ball game on Friday night.
Could look for a pass here to Sheets as he had to play, but anything, just a generic long pass play you could see for some yards coming back.
Wolverines will burn their 2nd timeout.
Riverton.
Yeah, Weaver talking to one of the officials, but yeah, they're going to say timeout. So Wolverines with one timeout with 9:19 left to go.
We'll double check that. We'll go to break. We'll come back. 21-21 our score. We'll be back on the County 10 Sports Network.
Supply Company in Riverton is proud to sponsor sports and student athletes here in Fremont County. Start your game day off right with the Porter's Pregame Show and get ready for action. Porter's has everything you need to heat your home this winter with the best selection of wood, gas, or pellet stoves. Good luck to all Fremont County teams from Porter's Supply Company. See Porter's Supply on North Federal in Riverton and online at portersmvs.com.
RE/MAX All-Star Realtors are proud to sponsor sports across Fremont County for the 22-23 season. RE/MAX All-Star Realtors was founded in 1991 with the goal of doing real estate in a way that would make our clients' lives as easy and uninterrupted as possible. They've completed many transactions involving residential, commercial, vacant lots, farm and ranch, and investment properties, and can help you with any goal you might have regarding any of these today. RE/MAX All-Star Realtors, 938 West Main Street, Riverton. See them online at remaxriverton.com.
Riverton with just one timeout remaining as we did double check during the break. DeVries back to pass. Has people coming after him, switches hands, stiff arms Velarde, who will throw him out of bounds at the 39-yard line.
I believe 7 on the carry, if I'm not mistaken, John, as it's third down for the Wolverines, but again, they've been able to overcome a couple long penalties.
Well, and you have a lot of, it's third and almost, third and 18 right now from the 40. And to make this a 4-down territory, you're going to really need to get a good chunk of yardage on this play right here. This is where you dial up a screen pass.
Yeah, Wolverines, I don't think have ran one, in the whole time.
Hutchison, going to be a double throw. He's got a man down the line. It's going to be caught. The double throw to the Wolverines will take it to the 31-yard line. It's McIntosh.
That brings out the former quarterback, the last quarterback from last year, and it pays off as that is a huge play. Kind of spoken into existence. Check a look at this replay for our video audience. Yeah, just trickery. When he was running back, John, I kind of had the idea, and yeah, just places that perfectly. I don't think you could have asked for a better spot of the ball.
27-yard completion. McIntosh's 5th catch of the night for 62 yards. First toss of his senior season for Nathan Hutchison. As you pointed out, the former quarterback, and the Wolverines started this drive at their own 2. DeVries again to pass. Has time coverage, and he will be spun hard to the ground. DeVries wants a horse collar as he got thrown to the ground. Not sure if it was Weaver or Harris, or in fact another Tiger that got on him. He'll lose a couple.
I got right. Oh no, they do say lose a couple. All right. DeVries the only one who's carried in the fourth quarter that I have, John. 18 carries, 114 yards that I have him for.
Hard to pick a player of the game. We've got to do both teams, both sides here tonight. It's becoming increasingly difficult. 2nd and 12, 8:11 left. Derek throwing over the middle. That's almost picked off by Stauffenberg at the 27-yard line. It goes incomplete.
That was his second opportunity of the night, John, to make a big play and gives Wolverines another chance.
Wolverines 3rd down and 12 as they went for Hutchison across the middle, and Stauffenberg at the free safety position nearly picked it off.
I wouldn't be surprised if they went into the air again, John. It's a 3rd and 12, so you got to make some ground. But is this 4th down territory, do you think?
I would think at the 8:05 mark, yeah, I would think so. You may not get too many more opportunities of possessing the football. Gabrielson and Hutch to the bottom. Sheets and McIntosh throwing to the outside. It's going to be caught. That is Hutchison. Velarde is going to bring him down. Stauffenberg jumps on
At the end of the tackle, it'll be an 11-yard carry, and now 11-yard completion, and now a decision time for the Wolverines.
I think this is a no-brainer, John. I think you go for it 4th and short. I mean, you could spread it out again and run up the middle with DeVries. I mean, he has had a success twice. Oh, wait. Or no. I thought there was a call, but I was wrong. They just are saying, let's go.
4th down and a yard, 7:30 and counting. The Wolverines have had this ball 7.5 minutes on this drive alone.
That's what I'm telling you, John. I mean, Wolverines are taking the clock away as now you potentially have a sneak, maybe?
And DeVries will get it and more as he will power his way down to the 20. A 2-yard carry and a fresh 4 for the Wolverines.
Yeah, right now, DeVries is scrambling, DeVries is running. Has really big plays on the offense. I mean, have really been big.
Clock stops temporarily as they reset the chains. Now we'll run at 7:05. There's a lot of time left in this football game, even though it kind of feels like this is got a finality to the drive a little bit right here.
Yeah, Lander, again, like you've mentioned, over 7 minutes of offense. And that's on this drive in the 3rd and 4th quarter.
Working on 8 minutes now on a drive that started at their own 2. DeVries hands it off to Vincent. He will be hit at the 20-yard line. Cabrialis making the tackle. Gain of about a yard for Vincent.
Second ball carrier of the quarter, John. DeVries has kind of been taking that over, only 1 yard, and that's to Brady Vincent, who's his lone runner of the 4th.
Yeah, I don't know. Right now, there's DeVries and Hutchison running through my mind as player of the game, as they have both came up with some huge plays here tonight for the Wolverines. Will somebody for either team step up in the final 6 minutes of this Fremont County rivalry? 2nd down and 9. Hutch will cross the field in motion. DeVries steps up, throws. It'll be caught by Hutch. No, it won't be. He'll dive in and out of it. Stauffenberg laying a lick on him at the 19-yard line. That went in and out of Hutchison's hands, and it's 3rd down and 9, and the Wolverines facing another 3rd down and long situation.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've been able to make something happen here with 5:53 to go.
This is the 21st play of this drive that started with 2:57 left in the 3rd quarter, and this will be play number 21 of the drive.
That includes a 15-yard holding penalty, or a 10-yard holding penalty, but really it was a 15-yard loss. So Wolverines are making things happen here, John, and Lander just trying to make one stop. That's all they need right now.
Derek, the junior quarterback, rolls out. He's going to be hit, almost a face mask. He's going to take off on the run. He will get across to the 18. There is a flag down. I think it's a face mask on the Tigers that will extend this Wolverine drive. We'll see, in fact, if it's a face mask or a hold.
I think, yeah, I believe you're going to get I saw the face mask. I don't know if I saw a hold on that play. As I believe that was the white hat official who threw the flag. As he's about to make the call here, is holding one hand out. Now he's just figuring it out.
Face mask, I think a 5-yard variety on the Tigers. So 3rd and 9 becomes 3rd and 4.
Tigers, 10 penalties, 71 yards. As you do get the face mask call. So once again, a penalty could extend this drive, as we are quite a bit, as we said, over 20 plays into this drive. It's weird to say 20 play drives happening in football in general, John.
That'll make it 3rd and 3.
3rd and a couple at the 13-yard line.
You get to the 11 here for the 1st down, and the clock has started. 5:43 to go. They are taking way much time off this clock.
Yeah, this will be the 21st play again after that play taken off. Ty will cross the field in motion. Wolverine offensive line has done a great job. DeVries up the middle, cuts inside. There's a flag down as he'll take it to the 3-yard line.
I think this is going to go back on a hold.
I think, is there 2 flags out there?
I saw one, and I saw a Riverton athlete on top of a Lander athlete, and now you got to...
There's a flag on the field.
Got a hurt player, DeVries, in the end zone, is on his hands and knees and took his helmet off.
So that's not who you are wanting to have out, John, right now.
No.
He's been really a factor in this game.
So, and then you got to wonder, will it be Jackson Larson that takes over at QB, or you've got your other QB back from last year in Nathan Hutchison, as DeVries being attended to by...
You got to wonder, yeah, Nathan Hutchison really been, I mean, he's had 10 practices, but how much of the playbook does he know?
Right.
Because he's pretty much been on most plays as DeVries walks off under his own power. But again, you're going to have him sit out a play.
Yeah, he has to sit out a play. And the flag came down at the 14-yard line. So not only is it not a first down, it's going to be 3rd and 10 yards from, it ends up being an 11-yard penalty on the Wolverines for their 91st yard of penalties on 9 tonight.
You know, it's, John, the penalties you think are killing both teams, but it's killing the Tigers right now.
Yeah, but the Wolverines have overcome them all. Great run by DeVries, got it inside of the 2-yard line.
Here's the play, that last play that made Derek DeVries. Yeah, that was exactly, you spread the receivers out as Pasquinelli makes the tackle, so not sure where exactly he was injured at.
So it is Hutchison that will come in to back up QB for DeVries. Monroe, Sheets, and McIntosh to the top. Vincent in the slot's going to come and personal protect.
Straight run.
Hutch going to carry it himself. Hutchison to the near sidelines to the 10, inside the 5. That's enough for a first down. They'll mark it at the 7. That is a Wolverine first down of 16 yards by Nathan Hutchison.
Once again, overcoming a penalty are the Wolverines, and they continue this drive. They have a new set of downs.
1st and 10, 1st and goal. Wolverines at the 7.
So you'd think, John, the way that Riverton has played, they would have a significant lead. It's a tie ball game.
Over 9 minutes of time of possession, and this is play number 22. Hutch again straight up the middle, carrying the football to the 3. He'll power down to the 2.
And we might see DeVries back in this play.
Glick and Harris on the tackle. They'll mark him at the 3, a 4-yard gain by Hutch.
They will put DeVries back in. He's at the sideline getting... Nope.
You say they will or they will not?
It looks like he was talking with the offensive coach, but they're going to...
Well, he's a gamer. He wants back in.
I mean, you're just running it up the middle with Hutchinson right now. And
2nd and goal from the 3. Tigers with 8, maybe 9 guys in the box right now. Hutch going to carry it himself. He's going to get to maybe the 2 this time. A gain of 1, and it's 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line for the Wolverines.
Now you got he gets up. It looked like he was slowly get up, but he's all right. But
10 minutes and 30 seconds of time of possession. A quarter of a game is 12 minutes, and the Wolverines have held this since the 2:57 mark of the 3rd quarter, and this is working on play, 23-24
something like
right
that.
now.
Wow. I'm just surprised of how long this drive has been going.
3rd and goal from the 2. DeVries going to take it to the outside. He's going to cut it back inside. DeVries to the goal line. I think he's short. He's going to be just outside at the 1-yard line. But it's going to be, they say that he turned it over. Referees conferring now. White hat official pointing, saying that it's Tiger football.
And then you have a player down for Lander and trying to get the number. I believe that's... We'll see what the number is. Scott is attending him right now.
I am not sure how this ball came out. I did not see it watching through the binoculars. Watching the replay now. DeVries coming to the outside.
You can't see it from that angle.
I can't either.
Angle, Thomas?
It looked like
we have an angle, hopefully.
Looked like his rear end came down. Now we got an end zone view of it here with
Kyle as DeVries comes to the near side. I look like he was down.
That's close. So unfortunately, John, there's no instant replay, so it is Tiger football regardless.
Not. Let's watch that view one more time, Thomas, if you will, as it looks like as his hind end hits the turf, the ball squirts out. We have that right there. His knee went down, spins down, ball shoots out. But as it were, a 97-yard drive by the Wolverines, and our first turnover of this game happens after the Wolverines take a month and a half off the clock.
I was going to say, it's the longest drive, and it's a turnover. The Wolverines, with 3:47 to go now, will have an opportunity to either take the lead or Riverton.
Can we watch that one more time? We're helping the stats out to see if we see who the recovery was on.
Gabrielis, that's the injured player.
5, Pasquinelli ends up with it in the end zone. That drive took 11 minutes and 10 seconds off of the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. Nearly an entire quarter, the Wolverines have the football, and they come up empty inches from the goal line. And now the Tigers with it at 3:47.
And with Gabrielis out, another lineman has to come in. So another young player for Lander. So, and now you have Lander who's basically starting at the goal line too. So now they're going to have to go on a 99-yard drive.
Right. One thing, though, they do have the leg of one Matisse Weaver. So you don't have to quite go that far if you want to give Mr. Weaver a chance. You're going to see a lot of beef right there, and I think you're just going to see Brendan Stauffenberg on a full house tee taking right straight up the middle, and he'll maybe get a yard out of that equation.
John, I was going to say that last play, I'm glad we were able to capture the replay. That's the nice thing of being able to see that, and great job by Thomas and our camera crew to capture that, and great job by Kyle to get that angle that we were wanting to see and see if that ball did come out, but the Tigers get a huge break. Huge.
Pat Will Hill on the back at County 10 for his decision to invest and put you in charge of it and see it happen here. Stauffenberg under center once again.
Probably right up the middle for Stauffenberg again in that T formation.
Wolverines disciplined this time. Now he's going to send Pasquinelli in motion. Stauff's going to toss it to Pasquinelli. He'll get into the 5-yard line, maybe the 6, where he's brought down by a slew of Wolverines there. Payne making the tackle. Also, Gabrielson perhaps in there first. Pasquinelli will go for 4.
And I think they changed that play last second. They checked the sideline. They put Pasquinelli in the backfield. And the Tigers getting some room. They got there. Again, this is the first play of the fourth quarter, and they only have 2 plays in.
2:34 left to play in the contest. 21 apiece. Wolverine crowd getting loud. Gabe Harris out to the right side. He runs into a bunch of Wolverines.
Still going.
He will have the first down on forward progress. A 7-yard carry.
John, I thought I can't believe we're having a game here. I think we're glad that we're getting the game we're getting right now. This has been a fun football game.
Wow, his first initial progress hit at the 10 and then powers forward clear out to the 13, 14-yard line with 2 minutes left to play in the ball game. Double tight end set, full house backfield for Stauffenberg and the Tigers. Give it off to Harris again, and he will get to the 20. A flag flies in late. Hutchison on the tackle along with Dominic Payne. Flag from the sideline.
We'll see who this is against.
Flag right at the 20-yard line. It's a face mask on the Wolverines, and I think of the 5-yard variety.
It's only 5. Yeah, I think it's only 5 yards.
But it is enough for a first down on the end of the run, so a 5-yard carry and a 5-yard penalty on the Wolverines, if in fact it is a 5-yard penalty.
Under 2 to go, under 2 to go. This is... Well, I think if you had a game of the week, John, I think this has got to be in the consideration of game of the week.
Well, if you're watching this statewide with really no vested interest other than it's high school football on a Monday night, you've gotten a good one.
And people watching it on television just got a message from one of our coworkers. Shout out to Claire Manning for sending that photo in.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Tigers, 1:57 left, and now they'll spread out their offense a little bit more. You got to account for Matisse Weaver, who's come off the wing a couple of different times out of that tight end position.
I just noticed the scoreboard, John. 0 timeouts for the Tigers.
Stauffenberg back to pass, pump fakes, throws the screen. Pasquinelli going to be hit by Vincent, and then Dominic Payne lowers the boom. That'll be no gain. 2nd down and 10.
First pass play of the 4th quarter, John, and Riverton makes the stop. 1:42 in counting. Tigers, we didn't notice this, have 0 timeouts left, so they are full speed offense. That's
2 timeouts, them, none Riverton.
Oh, I looked at the wrong side of the scoreboard. My bad.
90 seconds left.
Apologize to Thomas there for
making a scramble.
Mistake. Yeah.
2nd down and 10. Stauffenberg throws to the near side. Gabe Harris crushed by Nathan Hutchison at the 30-yard line. It is a 5-yard pitch and catch. Nice tackle by Hutch. Good concentration, Gabe Harris, to hang on.
4 receptions, 69 yards. Brennan Stauffenberg, 12 of 18, John. How many yards? 22?
12 of 18, 122 I have for Breno.
I forgot to add that screenplay.
3rd down. I have him 12 of 18, actually. 12 of 16.
Here's a scramble.
Rolling out, Stauffenberg runs to the sideline. He and McIntosh will hit, and that'll add 15 on for the Wolverines. Stauffenberg was running to the sidelines and clearly was going to run out of bounds when he gets hit. Ends up being a 6-yard run and add 15 more to it.
Here's the play just moments ago, John. Yeah, I'm curious because it was a Wolverine who ends up down, and
he's a couple of feet in the white paint, and that's an obvious 15-yarder.
Wolverines now 11 penalties, 111 yards. Lander sits with 10 penalties, 71 yards.
So now, if you're Coach Scott, now you're looking at about another 30, 35 yards to get Matisse Weaver in field goal range. Wolverine fans don't like the play, but I think even in real time watching it, it looked like it was a player running out of bounds who gets hit. And then it was even more so a couple of feet on the white paint when it happened. So they put it at the 49-yard line after the penalty.
And Wolverine territory now is a shotgun set for Stauffenberg.
Brennan rolls out. He's going to be hit and dropped. Good pressure by Vincent and Draven Monroe, and a sack by Bryce Mason, and a timeout on the field. Now, Wolverines need to be careful. That's a 9-yard loss.
By Mason and Monroe.
That's really a big play for Riverton, as now you got to make Lander go even more yardage.
Well, and Riverton chipping a little bit after that play needs to be careful to not get another penalty, as here you see. And it's a great play. It's a great play by the kids, but at the same time, you need to let some things happen.
Tyler Watson, State Farm agent, a proud supporter of Riverton Athletics. State Farm wants to protect your future. Stop in today, 618 East Washington, or go online to insuringriverton.com.
You know, one thing I want to do is give a shout out to Patrick Schmidt of Wyoming-football.com, as I read his blog weekly and use his research site for all kinds of different things. So Patrick and Wyoming-football.com does a great job. I just want to thank him for that. Also thank Bailey's, our postgame sponsors. We'll have the postgame show coming up here in just a few. We're inside of a minute left to play in the 4th quarter. From Wolverine Field at 21 apiece, 37 seconds left. The Wolverines just got a sack of Stauffenberg, a 9-yard loss, 2nd and 19. Ball now at their own 42-yard line. And again, they do have the leg of Matisse Weaver, who has hit one of the state's longest field goals this season.
And the crowd getting wild, both sides.
This is a loud venue now as Stauffenberg steps up. They'll blow the play dead.
Usually that's a
flag flies.
Start.
They're pointing at
Riverton.
The Wolverine side, maybe lined up in the neutral zone.
We'll see. Yeah.
It is
Wow.
dead ball foul, so they'll give 5 of that sack back.
Outside Wolverines.
So
What have we seen in this ball game? This will be a Lander Riverton game for the ages. We saw this game start Friday at 6 o'clock. We saw this game resume Monday at 6 o'clock. We saw the Wolverines go 11 minutes and 10 seconds from their own 2 to fumble it on the other 1. And now we're seeing the Tigers with 37 seconds left trying to get something done late in this ball game. And now a flag flies in. Do they give the 5 yards back?
As
they do.
Yeah,
yes,
they do. So it's really, that's really not, that penalty against Riverton really isn't anything now. It's so Tigers once again got to get an extra 5 yards. And John, this is definitely a game for, that's going to be a discussion for a while. It's going to be a game, especially for the Fremont County rivalry between these two ball clubs. There's another Fremont County rivalry happening next week, and that's not going to be an easy game for each team.
I got to see a pretty good Lander Riverton game in 1994 at Tonkin Stadium for a 3A football championship. Stauffenberg out of the shotgun, pressured again. He's going to be hit, and he is going to be dropped again. He'll throw it off the face of a player. It's going to be recovered by the Tigers. But if anything, that's probably intentional grounding. If, in fact, they let this go, I think they're going to have to call an intentional grounding as it hits a lineman right in the face.
Yeah, Stauffenberg did throw it forward. Hopefully we have a replay of that. I did see I mean, when you go forward, it's a pass. I mean, that's considered a pass. They obviously do got to play, and that's what the officials are discussing. Is this an intentional grounding?
Or was his forward progress stop? I probably would have brought him down, but they're going to throw the flag, and it is going to be a loss of down for the Tigers on top of it. So intentional grounding. I called one right for a change. How about that?
Yeah, John. Wow. This just gets more and more interesting. 26.8 to go, John. And if Lander trying to make something happen here with, now they're at their own 33.
Ends up being a 10-yard penalty and a loss of down. So now it's 3rd down. At the 32-yard line, they must get to the 39-yard line for a first down. That's 29 yards, 3rd and 29.
Here we go.
27 seconds left. Stauffenberg rolling the other direction. He will throw to the sidelines. It's going to be incomplete. In and out of the hands of Joel Beaver at the 45-yard line, and it's 4th down for the Tigers.
So obvious punt situation coming up, John. Now the question for Riverton, do you want to take this to that overtime intermission, take your chances on the coin toss, or you mean you've had a trickery play come up, you've had DeVries do stuff, you have Hutchinson do stuff. I mean, John,
well, right
what
now,
do you do?
Right
does
now,
this happen?
Right now, you don't rough the punter.
Yeah, you don't. That's a big one.
That is goal number 1. Wolverines trying to get their crowd into this, and they are.
Could it be wherever the punt lands? Because Matisse Weaver's already put one at the 2, as you got a timeout call.
Final timeout of the game called by the Tigers.
So, yeah, I feel like, John, I mean, if it was me out there, wherever this punt lands, you would consider. If it's in range that you may go for the win.
And Coach Nyberg and Coach Watson talking to Ty Sheets out there as we take this timeout.
Hey, Riverton, thanks for tuning in tonight to support RHS Athletics. Broadcasts are made possible by great sponsors like Gamble's on Main Street in Lander. Shane, the owner of Gamble's, has truckloads of furniture waiting just for you. Delivery is always free within 30 miles of the store, and that includes all of Riverton. A big thanks to Shane at Gamble's on Main Street in Lander.
Resetting your Fremont Therapy scoreboard with under 30 seconds left to play. Riverton and Lander tied up at 21. The Tigers trailed the Wolverines 21-14 at half, scored on their first play of the second half drive, and we've been in a dogfight ever since then. Do you fake it if you're John Scott? You got 4th and 37 or something like that coming up right now.
I don't think you would fake it here, John. Take your punt. Hopefully you pin them deep, as I think that's what Riverton thought for a moment, as you got
Sheets is back at the 39. Again, if you're Riverton, you don't rough the punter here on this. They have run into him a time or two tonight.
Not called back, though, as here's the punt.
High snap.
This is a short punt.
Youch, yikes, short punt. It's going to be marked at about the 45-yard line.
Now, I think if you're Riverton, you got 16.7. You can, I think, if you really want to, you can go for the win here. If you get into range for the kicker or go for the touchdown and win it.
Last Wolverine drive started at the 2. They drove it to the Tiger 1. Now here they are at the 46. 17 seconds left. Do you try for the heroics here 54 yards from the end zone? I'm not sure the range of the freshman kicker for the Wolverines is they have not attempted a field goal yet this year. And he has not been above 500 on PATs either.
And you got Nathan Hutchinson in the backfield. Both players can throw the ball.
Yeah, Hutch is...
No, he moves out, I guess. Never mind. I thought he was right next to it.
No, it is Hutch, and he's going to fumble it, but there is a flag to stop this play. Before it even gets started, I think the Wolverines got a jump start on the play. 121 yards of penalties on the Wolverines if, in fact, this does go against the Cardinal Red, and it looks like it will.
You're still, John, depending on what happens, they're going to say false start. So, but you still have decent amount of field to cover, but you're still not as deep as maybe you say, let's send it to overtime. You can still go for the win here.
I'm not going to nitpick, but the clock did run on that. And
yeah, I did see that. It's 15.49.
Hutch. Back to pass, throws one down the line. Gabrielson will have to turn into defender as Bieber is there at the 20, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, that does.
9 seconds left. Sorry, Wyatt.
6 seconds taken off the clock there. Yeah, Bieber was right there. Just goes right through his arms. And Nathan Hutchinson, I think, yeah, they gave it to Hutchinson to throw it, and maybe he's got the arm that can get you the most yardage, and I think that's why you're seeing him at least throw on that play.
Right, and I like the play, but at the same time, if it's 40 yards downfield and it gets picked off, you've got some Tigers that are pretty nifty in the backfield back there.
And they're going to send it to overtime, it looks like.
They'll take the knee. Neither team has a timeout. Evanston and Jackson went double overtime last Friday night. Here on a Monday, the Wolverines and Tigers in meeting number 126 in their 100 years. Look at that, Wolverine stands packed here in Fremont County. We'll talk about overtime rules and get you to that OT after this timeout. This is the Wolverines and Tigers. This is County 10 Sports Network.
It's more than clocking in or collecting a paycheck. We are a network of caring professionals who want to be here, dedicated to serving our communities. We are Sage West Healthcare, our 2 campus hospitals in Riverton and Lander. We take pride in our region, our people, and our communities. Located in beautiful central Wyoming, filled with natural recreation in our own backyard. We are neighbors caring for neighbors, a community caring for its own. We are Sage West. We are recruiting the best. Like you.
I hold up wide left. They don't have any.
Ensuring you never forget your best memories, but also protecting your future adventures. Tyler Watson and State Farm is a proud supporter of the current and future Riverton Wolverines.
Wide right, McGuffey back to pass, shows the ball, throws again, looking in the end zone is DeVries. Touchdown, baby!
Find us on our website at ensuringriverton.com. or stop by our office at 618 East Washington Avenue to discuss protecting your future. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Catch the video stream of this broadcast and previous games this season on County 10's YouTube channel.
We're in overtime. Either the second overtime of Week 5 or the first overtime of Week 6. But this is still a Week 5 game. So Jackson and Evanston went double OT on Friday night in Jackson, with the Bronx winning by 1 as the Red Devils went for 2 after they had scored the equalizing, perhaps, touchdown. Now you're going to send your captains out, and it comes down to the coin toss. Do you want... You want to play defense first.
You want to play defense, see what you have to do on the offensive side. So that's really all you got to do. If you hold them, all you need is a score. You win the game. But if you score and you let your defense score, you're going again.
You know, we could probably erase the clock out of there now, Thomas, because the clock is not a factor anymore. Each team will get 4 downs from the 10-yard line, regardless of if the first team scores or the second team or the first team gets a turnover in the contest. Each team will get 4 tries from the 10-yard line. Everything else is in effect, penalties, that kind of thing. So if you get a penalty that makes it a first down by a personal foul or something, then you will play that out from at that point. But it's not like college where you get the ball at the 25 and it's 1st and 10 and everything else and you play there. It is 4 downs from the 10-yard line. Captains will go out. They will coin toss. If you win the toss, you want to play defense first, just simply so you know if the other team scores, kicks a PAT, then you can score. Do you go for 2? Do you kick the PAT? Then you kind of know what you have to do. If, in fact, they go double OT, it flip-flops. The team that started on defense first goes to offense and plays again.
Yeah, Evanston, you were mentioning, do you go for 2? Evanston tried for it. They don't get it, and they fall in their Week 5 game. Again, John, both teams have to play Friday night.
Right.
That's this game, I mean, just in general, has just been so fun to call with you, John, with the team, Thomas, Christian, and Andrew, and our cameras, Kyle Nikoloff down on the field. We had Riley Bouillon shadowing Thomas, who is going to be starting producing work for us. So here we go. Here's the coin toss. And again, John, like you mentioned, whoever wins, you prefer to play defense first. And Lander does get the call.
They'll call heads or tails. You know, I gave Patrick Schmidt the shout out just a little while ago, Wyoming-football.com. But how about David Settle and Frank Gambino at wyopreps.com, a little website I was near and dear to for a number of years, founding WyoPreps with Vern Tysted way back in the day. And thanks to their hard work and keeping it alive and keeping it going, and those 2 websites being the definitive high school sports websites in Wyoming. There is the toss. Thought maybe we'd see Kyle go fall him, see him right in the middle of that huddle right there. So Riverton does get to decide which end zone they want to play this in, and Braden Vincent points down to the right side. So the Tigers have won the I was going to say they need to flip them around because
Tigers are playing defense first.
Tigers play defense first. Now is essentially where you really see the leg of Matisse Weaver as
an asset, really.
If you're wearing cardinal red, not so much, but
for Lander.
Absolutely. But it's going to play into your mind as an offensive coordinator for the Wolverines because you're untested. You've not kicked a field goal yet this year with your freshman kicker, but you know that John Scott has that weapon in his arsenal. It's not 100% given, but you got a pretty good idea when Matisse Weaver is back there that he's got a pretty good chance at it. So Wolverines will have it first and goal at the 10-yard line. We're at overtime from Wolverine Field. John Gabrielson along with you, Wyatt Barichka, Thomas Dent III, our technical director, Andrew and Christian up top. You get a good shot of both huddles here as we head to the OT. From Kyle Nikoloff down on the field. Got to thank Myron Peabody as well from School District 25 IT department getting us the connectivity up here, and Reggie Miller and Tim Bell. And, of course, thanks Cyril Stauffenberg for joining us from the locker room last week via telephone. Reggie came up in the box as we tried to get answers as the Wolverines will head out there, and they'll have first crack at it. 4 downs from the 10-yard line. Mills, DeVries, Garcia, Lyric Gordon, and Ryan Cox, the offensive line for the Wolverines. Hutchison's going to go out of the gun. He'll take it to the left side. He's got a lot of room. Hutchison diving for the pylon is pushed out of bounds at the 1-yard line. 9-yard carry by Hutchison to the 1-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now the question is, I've been looking for Derek on the sidelines. DeVries left with an injury, and it's been Hutch ever since, and you'd wonder if they would put DeVries possibly out at a wide receiver.
Yeah, not seeing his number out there, John. Could probably be in front of the sideline, but I am double checking here as we have a second down and basically 1 to go. Hutchison again at quarterback.
Hutch going to keep it himself. He'll carry it into the end zone, and the Wolverines strike first blood.
Fans cheer, but remember, Riverton has a chance to tie. So
Lander.
Thanks, John.
Third touchdown of the night for Nathan Hutchison. He's caught 2 and he's run for 1. And now the Wolverines will line up for the PAT as you watch Vincent lead block, and Hutch runs into Stauffenberg at the end zone, but he finds his way in. McIntosh will hold. DeVries will snap. All important PAT. High snap. Nick does a good job to get it down, and it is good. Great hold by McIntosh on a high snap. And the Wolverines in overtime have a 28-21 lead. They'll regroup, and it'll be Tiger football at the 10-yard line, 1st and goal.
Yeah, Lander has a chance to score and send it to a second overtime. And of course, only 2 plays for the Wolverines. Lander, again, you have 4 chances essentially to score, and now a field goal doesn't give you a tie. A touchdown will at least give it a 1-point lead with the PAT.
We've had 1 turnover tonight. That was by the Wolverines. A turnover ends it right here if it were to happen.
Exactly, yep. So, Lander, they can do either. I wouldn't be surprised if they run the ball here, but you could see a potential pass from Stauffenberg.
Cox, Prosser, and Mason along the front line. Hill, also Payne, who's had a great second half defensively, and Vincent, your linebackers. Draven Monroe in there. McIntosh, Sheets, Gabrielson, and Hutchison in the defensive backfield. We're in overtime. Power I formation for the Tigers from the 10.
And
the Wolverines jump off sides to start it, and we'll give them a free 5 yards.
Yeah, Wolverines are backing up like it's on them, and yep, they will say a 5-yard penalty against the Wolverines. So Tigers now, you have 4 plays to get 5 yards. That's another big thing now.
14 penalties, 128 yards, and yet you lead by 7 in overtime. 1st and goal from the 5 now.
You can hear this crowd for Riverton. Holy
full throat on
cow.
a Monday night. Power I formation. Second man through. Gabe Harris hit at the 5-yard line, and that'll be where they stop play right there. Prosser, the first Wolverine. Dominic Payne came running out of the pile with the football. Gabe Harris is still down. He's battling an injured shoulder much of this season. No carry. 2nd and goal from the 5.
Talk about tough football. DeVries tonight, and Harris with his shoulder. So, I mean, these athletes are giving it everything they have, especially in a Fremont County rivalry. 2nd down, 5 to go, or they're going to say 2nd and 4, even though it's really the ball's at the 5.
Yeah, just touching the paint. 3 across the back in the backfield. It's going to be Harris, left side. He'll dive to the 1. He'll be marked down at the 1. And he is slow to get up again after a 4-yard carry. It's 3rd and goal from the 1 for the Tigers.
Yeah, Riverton only took 2 plays on their first overtime. But so, again, if Lander scores, they get the football to start second OT. So that's clarifying some rules for audience. If we need to take a look at that replay, see maybe how close he was. They're going to put the ball at the 1.
Yeah, we're not going to have time. We need to get back to the play here as Stauffenberg under center. He's going to hand it to the first man and not going to get in.
Stauffenberg.
They handed that off to Matisse Weaver. He's going to lose a yard, and it's 4th and goal from the 2-yard line.
So,
first carry of the second half for Weaver.
Biggest play of the game, and it's potentially the deciding play for Riverton if you stop them.
Wolverines won only 1 game last year. Can they go 2-0 in conference play in overtime this year? Power I formation once again for the Tigers. Stauffenberg throws to the end zone. It's going to be caught by Stevenson. Evan Stevenson. The 2-yard touchdown catch And we are a PAT away from double overtime. Play action, great job by the Tigers on a great call.
As you said, Beaver, right? Or
Stevenson.
That's his third reception, John, and that third one is a huge one because that was a fourth down. If you don't catch that, that's game.
Watch this play action. It froze, and he got out away from the corner on that outside right side, and we're going to go to overtime.
And wait.
Oh, we're not going to go to overtime. We're going to not see a PAT. We're going to see perhaps a 2-point conversion for the Tigers.
And you got a timeout.
Yeah, you get one timeout, I think, when you go into that. I'm actually going to ask for the ball to be placed on the other hash mark is where it is. They always
for the win.
They always say, at home, you play for the tie. On the road, you go for the win. Evanston went for that last Friday night in Jackson, and the Tigers going to do it here.
Here we go, John.
Ball game. As Stauffenberg steps up, guns it. It's caught by Gabe Harris, and the Tigers have won it in overtime.
John, I don't...
Stauffenberg's pass. Caught by Harris.
I was going to say, John, you can't really say anything against the Wolverines. I think they played some of their best football this season, and I know the Tigers get the win here, but Wolverines played their hearts out. That's the best football game I've seen all year long.
Well, these two teams, as you hear the crowd of the Wolverines cheering on their team as they go for the midfield handshake. A dart by Stauffenberg to Gabe Harris on a 2-point conversion. And a beautifully played football game. It had a little bit of everything here tonight. And the Tigers win it in overtime, 29-28 as you go through the handshake line with the teams. Awesome job by our crew tonight. We appreciate you tuning in on a Monday night, and you got your money's worth and then some in a thriller in the 126th meeting between the Tigers and the Wolverines. The Tigers have won 5 in a row, and it's been rumored that this might be John Scott's final season. And if so, he'll end a 5-0 streak against the Wolverines as he goes for 2, and they get it.
Yeah, that was probably one of the gutsiest calls to make. You score, go for the 2 this time. That's just awesome from Scott just to talk to the Wolverines. And I think, John, the thing too is some of these players are friends with the other teams.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I mean, but
not some, but most.
Most, yes. And Coach Scott, again, talking to every Wolverine player, and, Lander spoils homecoming, John, but I don't think Riverton is done seeing their best football this year. They're getting better each and every week.
This was a growth game, as there you see the keeper of the gold trophy by the Tigers right there, and it's being held by Joel Beaver right now. And one thing I do want to throw out there real quick, and that is we were looking for Derek DeVries just a minute ago. He is being treated for concussion protocol right now by the medical staff, and so he has not been out here to see the end of the ball game. But what a warrior DeVries is tonight, and the job that he did in this ball game. And we've got a lot to unpack in the Bailey's Enterprises post-game show here in just a few minutes. But looking at the Wolverines in the middle of the field, we hope to have both coaches come up here and talk about this one, as it were. But the Tigers doing calisthenics in the background as their tradition at the end of the game, and the Wolverines meeting at midfield rather. And wow, we saw a great one tonight. 29-28, the Lander Tigers. We'll come back. We'll recap this. We'll take a look at some stats. We'll hopefully talk to the coaches. This has been the 126th playing of the Wolverines and the Tigers on the County 10 Sports Network. We'll be back with the Bailey Enterprises postgame show right after this.
Wind River Internet is proud to deliver quality, high-speed internet to businesses and residents across Fremont County. Wind River Internet is the sponsor for the County 10 live stream and sports in our community. Enjoy high-definition broadcasts. Brought to you by Wind River Internet. They also provide reliable phone services that can help you stay in touch with the important people in your life. Experience greater connection today. To get a quote and start enjoying fast, reliable services, call 307-857-2004. That's 857-2004. Or windriverinternet.com.
Back when I was riding in rodeos, I always made sure I was locked in, good and tight. Now as a touring musician, crisscrossing the country, I still make sure I'm locked in, good and tight. Of course I do.
Hauling ass, heading south, down the road in a gold Cadillac, coupe to bill.
Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
If you're looking to get upgrades on your vehicle done with bumpers, grill guards, and bed liners, shop locally. Instead of traveling the extra mile to an out-of-town shop, take it to the premier local shop here in Fremont County. Wyoming 4x4 has over 25 years of experience under the belt. Dan will take your stock truck and give it the perfect accessory makeover tailored to your vision. Stop at Wyoming 4x4 or give Dan a call at 307-857-3175.
Wyoming Catholic College are proud sponsors of student athletes and sports programs across Fremont County, plus are this season's academic spotlight sponsor. Wyoming Catholic College forms students through a rigorous immersion in the primary sources of the classic liberal arts tradition, the grandeur of the mountain wilderness, and the spiritual heritage of the Catholic Church. Grounded in real experience and thoughtful reflection, our graduates love truth, think clearly, and communicate eloquently, engaging with the world as it is. Submit your application online at wyomingcatholic.edu/admissions/apply.
Xander's One Stop of Lander wishes the best of luck to all student athletes and sports teams throughout Fremont County. Xander's One Stop has it all: clean gas, ethanol-free fuel, diesel, a variety of household and automotive needs. Stop in for the very best in snacks, lunch, dinner, and much more. Plus, the best liquor selection. And now lottery tickets for the Cowboy Draw, Mega Millions, Powerball, and Lucky for Life. It's all here at Xander's One Stop, 730 East Main, Lander.
Stream of this broadcast and previous games this season on County 10's YouTube channel.
Final score here tonight on the Fremont Therapy scoreboard. This is your Bailey Enterprises post-game show. The Lander Tigers in overtime win it 29-28 here, and a game that had a little bit of everything here tonight. And is this going to be our post-game interview? I will let you take that.
Yeah, here we're just we're talking with John Rounds and Coach. There was a lot of things that kind of didn't go your guys' way, but just talk about the effort you guys had to put in to win probably one of the best games we've had all year.
You know, it's a lot of perseverance, a lot of guys stepping up in different positions. We're moving guys around at the end as another guy goes down. But Coach talks about it every day. We have a next man up mentality, and guys got the job done.
Talk about that delay. You guys go into a delay. You don't know if you're playing that night. You guys have to wait basically 2.5 days to play football again. What did you guys do in that? Did you guys do anything? What did the coaches talk about? What did you guys emphasize to the players when you got to enter a game? You got 7 in the first quarter.
Yeah, you know, we didn't come out the way we wanted to in that first quarter on Friday night. The delay, you know, gave us a chance to kind of regroup a little bit. Go take a look at a couple things and see how we wanted to adjust. Riverton had a good game plan. You know, they did a lot of really good things and put us in some tough positions, and got a couple more kids out that helped them in a number of ways. And so, you know, it was kind of a really extended halftime for us, where we were able to just, again, try to get some guys lined up right, get them doing their jobs, key in their responsibilities, and going from there on both sides of the ball.
Riverton essentially had one drive basically go an entire football quarter. I mean, going from the third into the fourth. I mean, they took that clock down to basically as much as they could, and you guys make a stop on the goal line. What is the mode that you guys have to go in? I mean, obviously you got to go score, but what was your thought process in that moment?
You know, the first thing is that you want to tackle them and you want to make them line up and have to snap the ball again. That's the third time this year we've caused a fumble inside the 3-yard line. You know, so we have a never say never type of mentality down there. And, that's a testament to the fellas fighting to get the turnover. After that, it's a matter of let's just get a little separation here off the goal line. It would be nice to go score, but to go 99 yards with 2.5 minutes, that's probably not super realistic. We'd hope to get down and maybe have a chance for Weaver to put a leg on the ball, but then we had a couple penalties and that didn't work out. And so at that point in time, it's overtime, and and luckily that worked out for us.
Coach, I would like to talk to you more, but we got to get to our next interview. Coach, I can't thank you enough for your time, and congrats on a fantastic win.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And now we'll send it back to John and get his postgame.
John Rounds, thank him for coming up here and talking with us. And I was going to have a difficult time picking a player of the game in tonight's game. Derek DeVries is an absolute warrior in the game tonight. Dominic Payne, I thought, played very well defensively, but in his first game back as a Wolverine, you're the former quarterback, and you had to unfortunately come back and play. But Nathan Hutchison tonight, a battle. Talk about this one a little bit.
Yeah, this is by far the craziest game I've ever played in. Just fun. It was fun. Our guys fought really hard, and they fought hard on the other side too. And it's just unfortunate that last play went their way.
We've seen some crazy things in this ball game. Obviously, the weather delay, the resumption of the game, but then you guys have the ball 11 minutes and 10 seconds in that drive from the end of the third quarter that unfortunately goes from your own 2 to their 1 yard line and ends up being a turnover there. But without having been on the sidelines for the first 4 or 5 games for this has to be, I think, an awakening for the Wolverines to say, we're here, we can play now.
Yeah, I think that was awesome. It definitely proved that we're capable of doing that. And I said it all week, but no highs, no lows, and we just got to play hard and execute. And I feel like we did that really well, especially having the rain delay and having to come back mentally, even having a couple of days off. Then coming back and just fighting was really awesome to see.
How was it to be back on the field with your brothers?
Fun. It's fun. Football's fun. I love it. It's fun to just compete out there, and yeah.
Watching you run for that first down off to that left side, took it to the 7-yard line right there. But Nathan, I appreciate you coming up tonight, and good luck. You got to get right back at it, I guess. And coaches talk about that. Short week. It's now next 2 or 3 days to recover from these bumps and bruises and the scar of a 29-28 loss to come back and play Douglas.
Yeah, they're tough. So we definitely got to get after that practice and get our minds right to play them.
All right, Nathan, thank you for coming up. Good job tonight. And unfortunately didn't go the way, but I do appreciate you coming up. So Nathan Hutchison, he is our Lander Medical Clinic player of the game for the Wolverines side of the equation here tonight, and played some of his highlights right there. He did catch 2 touchdown passes, one of 6 yards and one of 32 yards on the game tonight, and he was also close to running for a touchdown here on this play as he would go up the middle, and that was the one play I think a turnover or a penalty brought that back. But we're going to have Troy Anderson join us here in just a couple of minutes as well. But one thing I talked about, Wyatt, was just everything that we saw in this ball game. 1 turnover in the entire game, and it was after a 26-play drive that went 97 yards, taking 11 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock, and it ends in a turnover at the goal line.
Yeah, that had just unfortunate for the Wolverines. And, John, I think that was probably the longest drive I've ever seen personally. And, I mean, all levels of sports. I mean, both teams, they fought, and, it's – you can't turn your head down here. We'll have your other interview come up, John.
All right, we've got Troy Anderson coming up with us here tonight, head coach of the Wolverines. And, Troy, I'm going to say congratulations. It's a 1-point loss, but I think the Wolverines took some steps and learned a few things about themselves tonight.
Yeah.
You had 3 drives of 80 yards that scored touchdowns. You had a 4th drive that went 97 yards and ended at the goal line. I mean, the Wolverines arrived a little bit tonight, I think.
I would like to, yeah. I mean, we really wanted to get a 2-pointer on that down there. That would have really turned the tide. It would have been fantastic.
I figured I'd have a 6-pointer before that. First
Yeah,
of all,
I know, but I mean, as a D guy now, right? Like,
right, for
that's
sure.
my jam. Is just like I want to go get that 2-pointer and get it back for us. But yeah, I mean, we drove the ball. We got some pressures there. It's sophisticated, talented, mature offense with a good play caller behind them. So we had some growing pains a couple times there and some coverage pieces. But overall, we rebounded when maybe it would have been easy just to fold up shop and let them put up another 21 on us potentially.
Right, which is what I'm exactly saying, that the Wolverines arrived as a football team tonight. And to see your kids battle, I mean, 3 drives of 80 yards, and it was penalties. I think you ended up with about...
There was some yardage. That looked like Wolverines the last couple of years before this.
200 penalties for 125 yards or something like that, but you overcame dang near every single one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, you can't be prouder of these dudes. And that's kind of the commentary I've told the dudes is like, these guys get 4 of these in their career, and you only get 2 of them at home. And, gosh, it would have been dang nice to get these guys at home tonight, but it bums me out, real bad.
Yeah, short week. You got to move on. Memory of a goldfish. Get rid of it because you've got the Bearcats coming in here on Friday.
Good, really good traditional football team. They've got another salty bit of, I mean, they bring the edge to them, and just, I mean, I think this on some level, physically prepares. I think we're pretty good physically, other than the Derek situation.
Right, that was my next question too, by the way.
And I don't know. I guess I'm just looking from where I'm up here, top here, like you guys are. I haven't got to talk to Paige or Derek yet. I'm guessing he's probably in protocol based on the body language I saw. Luckily for us, we got a guy that started a bunch of games last year, and it's not like we're taking a freshman or sophomore off the bench. We're just going to hopefully do some plug and play on that. Slightly different skill set, but I think you saw on that first run over there in overtime that he's got some talent, to do that. And he's been nothing but a consummate teammate since he's come in the fold about 2 weeks ago.
We will let you go check on your player, and we'll talk with you Friday or Thursday, I guess, as we pregame you for the Bearcats. Troy, thanks for coming up tonight.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
It's Troy Anderson, head coach of the Riverton Wolverines. His team comes up on the short end of a 29-28 overtime game here from Wolverine Field. And this is the Bailey Enterprises postgame show. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll give you some final stats, run down how this game unfolded as the Tigers win it in overtime, 29-28. We'll be back after this on the County 10 Sports Network.
Live stream and sports in our community. Enjoy high-definition broadcasts brought to you by Wind River Internet. They also provide reliable phone services that can help you stay in touch with the important people in your life. Experience greater connection today. To get a quote and start enjoying fast, reliable services, call 307-857-2004. That's 857-2004 or windriverinternet.com.
Back when I was riding in rodeos, I always made sure I was locked in, good and tight. Now as a touring musician, crisscrossing the country, I still make sure I'm locked in, good and tight. Of course I do.
Hauling ass, heading south, down the road in a gold Cadillac, coupe bill.
Buckle up for life, Wyoming.
If you're looking to get upgrades on your vehicle done with bumpers, grill guards, and bed liners, shop locally instead of traveling the extra mile to an out-of-town shop. Take it to the premier local shop here in Fremont County. Wyoming 4x4 has over 25 years of experience under the belt. Dan will take your stock truck and give it the perfect accessory makeover tailored to your vision. Stop at Wyoming 4x4 or give Dan a call at 307-857-3175.
Wyoming Catholic College are proud sponsors of student athletes and sports programs across Fremont County, plus are this season's academic spotlight sponsor. Wyoming Catholic College forms students through a rigorous immersion in the primary sources of the classic liberal arts tradition, the grandeur of the mountain wilderness, and the spiritual heritage of the Catholic Church. Grounded in real experience and thoughtful reflection, our graduates love truth, think clearly, and communicate eloquently, engaging with the world as it is. Submit your application online at wyomingcatholic.edu/admissions/apply.
Xander's One Stop of Lander wishes the best of luck to all student athletes and sports teams throughout Fremont County. Xander's One Stop has it all: clean gas, ethanol-free fuel, diesel, a variety of household and automotive needs. Stop in for the very best in snacks, lunch, dinner, and much more. Plus, the best liquor selection. And now lottery tickets for the Cowboy Draw, Mega Millions, Powerball, and Lucky for Life. It's all here at Xander's One Stop, 730 East Main, Lander.
Coming out of the timeout, 29-28 final score in your Fremont County rivalry. As we are talking about our players of the game, gave it to Lander, Evan Stevenson, catching that touchdown that ultimately would end up being the 2-point conversion to help win the game. And John, for you, who do you got for Riverton?
I went with Nathan Hutchison, and again, like I said, you could have went Dominic Payne defensively in the second half, Draven Monroe, Bryce Mason with some stops and some things like that. And then you think Derek DeVries, obviously, but I'm going to go Nathan Hutchison tonight as our Lander Medical Clinic player of the game. So,
yeah, going to some final numbers, John, and we kind of pretty average, so I think we're good with ours. I have Brendan Stauffenberg. 14.
I'll let you do the Tiger stats, and then I'll do the Wolverine stats.
All right, we can do that. I had Brendan Stauffenberg, 14 of 18 today, 123 yards with a couple touchdowns. There was a touchdown I forgot to add, which obviously been the touchdown to Evan Stevenson. Jack Pasquinelli led the rushing, 15 carries for 56 yards. Matisse Weaver, 4 carries for 8 yards. Gabe Harris, 4 for 12. And then Brendan Stauffenberg, 7 of 7 on the carries. For receiving, you had Matisse Weaver, 3 of 31 with a touchdown. Gabe Harris had 4 for 69 for a touchdown. Pasquinelli gets 2 receptions for 5 yards. And then Evan Stevenson, your Lander Medical Clinic player of the game, 3 receptions for 21 yards. And, of course, the touchdown to ultimately let the Tigers go for 2.
Take a look at Wolverine stats in the contest. Derek DeVries, 15 of 23, 178 yards and a couple of touchdowns to Nathan Hutchison. Nathan would go 1 for 2 passing for 27 yards. Nathan Hutchison also catching 5 balls for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns here tonight. And then also you look at, did he also run for a touchdown in this ball game?
Hutchison?
Yeah, he did.
He did. He had
7 carries, 31 yards rushing tonight for Nathan to give him his 3rd touchdown of the evening. Also running tonight, Derek DeVries, 20 carries, 119 yards, and unfortunately just had that one fumble that after replay we watched it.
We both did, yeah. We both agreed,
Ends up being a fumble nonetheless, and that's, there is no replay in high school, and the referees saw what they saw, and they it ended up going into overtime. Ty Sheets, 3 catches, 57 yards. Nick McIntosh, 5 catches, 62 yards. Hutchison, 5 catches, 70 yards. Riverton would run 62 plays. Lander ran 50 plays in the ball game. Even though Riverton kept the ball for 11 minutes and 10 seconds, the time of possession goes 27-21 in regulation.
Wow.
And then each team plays 1. So only a 6-minute differential, despite the fact Riverton had it for 12, almost 11 and a half minutes. 5 tackles on defense for loss for both teams in the ball game. Each team had 7 possessions in the ball game. Riverton runs 62 plays, 371 yards. They held the Tigers to just 50 plays and 218 yards of total offense here tonight. But in the end, it is the Tigers that win it 29-28 in overtime from Wolverine Field.
And you can't hang your heads down if you're Riverton.
Nope.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate loss, but this was probably one of the best games you guys have played all year. So can't hang your head low. You got a few days to rest, and then you got to take on a very tough Douglas team who will be coming to town, if I'm not mistaken, the final home game.
It is.
Of the season.
Senior night for the Wolverines, pink night for the Wolverines, their final home game of the season as well. Do we need one more ad break, or we got those done? We're all done? All right, we got those taken care of. It's almost 9 o'clock at Jack FM 105.1 and on 1330 KOVE. Wyatt, next week, well, I say next week. It's
this week.
It's already this week, but talk about Tigers taking on the Rollins Outlaws Friday night at 6 o'clock at Bill Bush Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, Tigers will look to go over 500 in conference play when they take on Rollins, and that will be their second to last home game of the season. They'll have Rollins, and we'll have that action for you guys on KOVE 1330 AM, 107.7 FM. And also, again, we stream video on our County 10 YouTube channel and Facebook page. John, Rollins runs a double wing offense, so I'm curious to see how Lander's defense, especially, missing some tackles early in this ball game for this upcoming Friday.
It's going to be Woody Hayes football, as Kyle would know something about from Ohio State. 3 yards in a cloud of dust is what Rollins likes to kind of go with that. So, and Rollins, I think, an improved football team as well. Worland's 21-0, Riverton 14-6 last week. So you'll see what happens on that game at 6 o'clock. The Wolverines will entertain the Douglas Bearcats at 6 o'clock. I'll be on the air at 5:30 with Bo Sheets in our pregame coverage of Senior Night and Pink Night here at RHS. Big thanks to Kyle Nikoloff, Andrew Sossaman, and Christian Corona, our 3 cameramen. Thomas Dent III, great job running the graphics and the board tonight. Wyatt, it has been a pleasure to do a game with you, my former student, now my coworker, that I'm proud to say that. It's been a blast to be a part of it with you here tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate you, John, and I'm glad we were able to do a joint broadcast because, just the magnitude of this game and, just being able to call with you, John, is always fun. We've only called a state championship in basketball. We obviously done more, but this one is probably definitely one of my favorite games to have called with you for sure.
126th installment of the Wolverines and the Tigers goes the way of the green. They've now won 5 in a row. They draw it now to 63-56 with 7 ties. And with that, we'll wrap it up. For our crew, for Wyatt Barichka, I'm John Gabrielson. This has been a presentation of County 10 Sports. You have a great Monday night. Everybody back to work tomorrow. We'll be back on the air 5:30 pregame here from Riverton, 5:45 next week from Bill Bush Memorial Stadium.
5:30.
5:30 is that
5:30
as well on 1330. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. This has been a presentation of County 10 Sports.